That's real. Nothing else is as exciting as footy.
Yarran should go.
And last Saturday was the Blues party night.
Great play, Carlton.
They couldn't get any higher.
Walker's got the sit here. What?
Magical stuff.
What? Here's Eddie. Not going to have a shot at goal. Oh, Willie. Weaves in and out. Banks has kicked it. He's got 5.
Eddie playing like he's possessed. But even 8 goals not enough for best on ground because the skipper is playing out of his skin. After all that magic,
Judd, brilliantly done to Ben.
what will be the Blues' next trick tonight? The bounce-back Kangas are party animals too. Wells is an illusionist. Petrie, Swallow, and the young Joeys pull rabbits out of their hats.
They can put him in front.
It's showtime on the big stage of Friday night football. The Blues versus the Roos, and anything can happen.
Ah, yes, it's Friday night football. Welcome along. Certainly Carlton on something of a roll, but the Kangaroos have won 7 of their last 8 against the Blues. And Lee Matthews, we've seen a lot of the Kangaroos in recent times. They're quite capable of winning this game tonight.
Got a pretty good team together, and I think Petrie up forward is going to be a big plus, given that Jamison is still missing from the Carlton side. But clearly Carlton are trying to consolidate in the top 4. The Kangaroos, they're going to win about 3 of the next 5, I think, to play finals.
Well, Carlton have made 2 changes tonight. Houlihan and McLean, both veterans, get another chance.
Well, they were struggling a little bit with the absence of Jamison and Waite, their 2 bookends. But last week, particularly in the second half, 15 goals to 4 in the second half. Betts' 8 goals was fantastic. That forward partnership between Betts and Garlett, very valuable, apart from even having Judd and Murphy, the 2 best midfielders in the game at the moment, probably.
North Melbourne 2 changes as well, including Gavin Urquhart, playing his first game of the season, replaces Jamie McMillan, who's a late withdrawal.
Well, I think they've got to just make sure that Rawlings maybe in close and Wells outside a little bit can sort of nullify the effect of what Judd and Murphy can do for Carlton. But they're a pretty good, well-balanced team. I think they've got a real chance tonight.
Ryan Houlihan, 200th game, leading them out. He's the sub, but no vest when he leads them out. A nice touch. But a good player. Taken 73 in the draft, 12th season. Mighty fine, skillful players. We welcome you to Etihad Stadium. Should be a terrific game. Carlton in the top 4, but they need to keep winning. They've actually only won 2 of their last 5, but you feel like they're in terrific form up against the Kangaroos, who are about to run past me in just a moment, who started the season really slowly, but they've been coming with a rush with 6 wins out of their last 8. It's only the good teams that have been in Carlton this year, though, and for North Melbourne, they're desperate for a scalp. They haven't done well against the top 4. They've got Carlton tonight, and they've got Hawthorn next week in Launceston. So it's a really red-letter night for them. It's their one Friday night match as the host team, and it's a big crowd, and out comes Boomer Harvey. So they really do need to put on a good show. They've won 2 of their first 9 this season. They've won 6 out of their last 8, and their best win, I reckon, was a fortnight ago when they beat the Dogs after they'd been thrashed the week before by Collingwood. So Kangaroos join the Blues. We've got access all areas here at Etihad Stadium on a night where there's a really good crowd in for what is an edgy match, a big finals match. Nick Maxwell's with us, he's with Tom Harley, and Tom, the marking power of the Kangaroos could be a factor tonight.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Bruce. Drew Petrie's the player, Nick, who's been in outstanding form. In fact, in the last 2 months, only behind Travis Cloak for contested mark. Now, you played the Kangaroos a couple of weeks ago. How do you see his game?
Yeah, Drew, what we noticed was something he'd just launch himself at everything. So he would rather give away a free kick than let the opposition defenders take a mark.
Now, Drew's the focal point. Who else have they got up for with the Kangaroos?
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Pedersen. He can do it at both ends. He can also pinch hit in the ruck, but he can take a really big pack grab. And the other one's Aaron Edwards. We know he's good in the lead, can take contested mark, and we know he kicks straight.
So there you go, Bruce. Heard it from Nick. Drew Petrie's the man.
Yeah, 8 in his last 2 weeks, 38 for the season. A short time ago, Richo caught up with him.
Drew, you must be pumped back on Friday night footy. Pretty tough ask against the Blues tonight.
Yeah, it is. Carlton are going really well, Richo, and they've had a solid win last week against the Bombers, so it's good to get a chance against a top 4 side on a Friday night.
And your forward line's functioning really well. Your own form's outstanding, but tell us about Edwards and Pedersen. They've been going really well.
Yeah, I think the forward line's improved because we're using Aaron Edwards when we go forward and Cam Pedersen as well, and Lockie Hansen's chipped in as the forward as well, and we haven't sort of just bombed away. We've used the footy a lot more efficiently going inside 50, so it's enabled us to kick some bigger scores, and we'll need one tonight.
Lockie Hansen, you just mentioned, he has been going back. Can you tell us where he's going to start tonight?
I can tell you, Richo, he'll be starting in the back line tonight, Lockie Hansen, but we might see him in the forward line at some stage.
Beautiful. When you've had a late change, Urquhart's come in.
He has, yeah. Jamie McMillan's a bit of gastro, I think, during the week, so Gavin Urquhart will play tonight.
And you're going to back yourselves in against Juddy. You've got some great boys in there as well.
We do. Zeeble, Swallow, the list goes on. We've got some good players in our midfield, but they've also got a pretty good one too.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Richo.
Thank you.
What a week for the Judd family with the arrival of Oscar Dillon. He's in magnificent form. In fact, Brett Ratton reckons he might be in career best form.
I think when you've got a challenger within, that actually drives him a little bit more as well. And now he's got Murphy and Gibbs and Simpson really pushing. Scotland's in fantastic form this year as well. So he's got people within actually challenging his reputation as the #1 player at our football club. And I think that's drawn the best out of him as well.
Oh, brilliant, Gavin. How does he manage this? Brent Harvey playing his 20th game against Carlton. He's played in 14 victories and kicked 24 goals and still in very good form. So it's a big night for North Melbourne with a chance to move into the top 8 at least for 24 hours. It's Friday night football. It's North against Carlton.
It is tails.
After much deliberation, Brent Harvey wins the toss. Ryan Houlihan playing his 200th game. It's taken a while in the last season and a half for him to reach that milestone, but well done. Harvey, though, wins the toss, and they're going towards the lock-it end of the ground. North Melbourne. Seen a fair bit of them this season. They've been very gritty. Mark Murphy, as Lee said, having a standout season. He's averaging 29 possessions a game this season. Last season it was 26, so up 3 notches. A priority pick at #1 in 2005. Other side of the ledger, and these two could be running together tonight. Bastanak coming off a career-high 29 possessions in his 29th game last week. North already looking forward to his 50th, obviously. Keep at that pace. Chris Judd, well, it's in the book, is it? Oscar Judd, for the first time, probably saw his dad walk out the front door to go and play footy tonight as we take a look at the mega wall, the players to watch. Access all areas on a Friday, Tom.
Certainly up the top there, Dennis. I think Goldstein and Warnock, obviously the two ruckmen. Todd Goldstein's been in fantastic form, leads the competition for hit-outs, 3rd hit-outs to advantage. Swallow and Wells will be at his feet all day, so watch that. Great midfield matchup. Matty Cruiser will spend some time there, and we spoke a lot in the pre-game about Drew Petrie. He's going to be the key focal point for North Melbourne. We heard Nick Maxwell say that if he doesn't take the mark, his instructions are to split the pack, and they've got some pretty handy players at his feet.
They're probably two of the best combinations of ruckman and ruck forward.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Petrie in the competition.
Yes.
Mark Morphy has gone forward. He's starting in the forward 50 for Carlton. Drew Petrie, such a danger to the Blues' hopes of winning this game. Friday night football underway. Opening bounce, rucks go at it. One down by Warnock. Into the path of Wells, who's been in career best form. He hooks it down towards half forward. Awkward one for Pedersen. He goes after the foot. He gets into the back of Laidler, and Laidler will take the free kick. Plays on by hand, releases Yaron. Yaron drives it towards midfield. Garlett almost snatched it one-handed, socket away by Rawlings, and then Garlett was too high on Adams. So Adams has got the football.
So Adams, who's a little scare a moment ago, he dashed down to the rooms just before the game, and they weren't sure exactly whether he's okay, but he's obviously all right out of bounds. Richo, you've got a couple of matchups for us.
We do, Bruce. Very interesting. Scotty Thompson has started on Eddie Betts. He is at least 4 or 5 inches taller than Eddie. Rawlings on Gartlett and Spuddy Ferrito on Walker.
And Yaron on Harvey. That's an interesting one. 2 offensive players matched up at the other end of the ground.
So Zeeble to Swallow. And Swallow, does he keep it in? No, that's out on the full.
And on the matchups, I think we'll keep a good eye on the midfield because I would love to see Wells and Swallow go head-to-head with Murphy and Judd.
Well, all four have been in terrific form, haven't they?
Absolutely.
I noticed Wells on your list, Lee, was right behind Murphy.
He was, yeah, he's been exceptionally good as well. Looks like Wells and Murphy. Wells may be trying to run off Murphy.
Bird, straight at him.
Gee, Walker split the pack there. I mean, four going for the same ball. Wells in trouble. Terrence handball put him under the pump. Armfield, that's a clever kick. It's like a rugby kick to touch.
Running down towards right half forward. Hansen feeds it across to two players there. Tarrant snatched it away from Rawlings. Snatching it back is Walker. Spots Murphy. Couldn't get the ball to him. Murphy's still a danger here. Thompson arrives first. Murphy tried to drag him down too high. Richardson gets the free.
We heard the name Hansen there, and Pedersen's the one who's playing forward.
Got him high, Eddie. Thank you.
Very lucky there. Just ricocheted that football off a North defender. Otherwise it was headed for Murphy, who was loose back towards the goal square. For Rito, Edwards, he's been in good hard-working form in the last couple of weeks. Inside the centre square, little chip out wide. Scotland stretches, takes the mark.
He's the only player Carlton has had at least 20 disposals in every match, Scotland. So that includes Murphy and Judd. That's how consistent he's been this season. Both Murphy and Judd have dipped under 20 on one occasion. So the Blues, who like to be precise with their kicking, what a fine season Robinson's having. Cruiser outnumbered. Wells, so silky the way he runs, and that's a dangerous kick straight to Carlton.
Carlton! Yeah, Simpson. Got him high, mate.
She was a dangerous kick by Wells.
Time back on.
And you seen some fierce contests in the air early in this game.
So Simpson off a step or two, still having that long run of unbroken game. Simpson. Warnock, a long way from goal, about 80 metres out.
Sends it long down towards full forward. Cruiser, hands to it. Could have been retarded there. Play goes on. Murphy to Judd. Ran into a dead end. McMahon was waiting for him. Judd's holding the footy.
We saw, Dennis, we saw Scott Thompson go third man up. He's playing on Eddie Betts as Richo picked up. He'd want to make sure he influenced the contest and get it out of the area because Eddie will be lurking all day.
Cruz a bit stiff not to get a free kick, I thought. And he was a catalyst immediately after half-time against the Bombers last Saturday night. Petrie stranded over the football. Henderson, an improving player, taken down by Swallow. Swallow knows he's got the footy, but he's calling for a free kick.
I think Kangaroos are putting into practice that principle. He might be able to not beat Betts at ground level, but beat him in the air. He's not going to kick 8 at ground level.
Bounce 55 metres out, then brilliantly by Warnock. Down to Scotland. Yaron so good with the footy. Thornton takes the mark. About 45 metres out, almost directly in front.
Good news with the ball, Yaron, isn't he? Beautiful. That'll be a great contest. Him trying to attack off halfback, match up with Brent Harvey, who is going to be going just as quick the other way.
That's his record. It's normally a pretty long kick. This one tried to work back left to right, but it won't do it.
This is the matchup here. I don't think North Melbourne should underestimate. Obviously, they've got Betts and Garlett, and obviously Walker's been in fantastic form, but Thornton can draw the football, so Tarrant will need to be on his guns.
Kick 4 against the Suns early in the year, Thornton, as a switch-up player. McMahon out wide. Good job by Dygan. And then Thornton again, and the smother came from Wells. And out of play, down to you again, Richo.
Yeah, North Melbourne love to use the corridor. We saw Wells go in there before. It looks very risky, but they are one team who loves to come through there. Carlton are going to get some good looks through the middle there tonight for some turnovers.
Goldstein and Warnock. Goldstein, number 1 in the competition for hit-outs. Gibbs held on to for a long time. Ellard got down low. Was he taken high? It'll be a ball up.
Just leans into the tackle. That was fine.
Good explanation. Terrific crowd here. North Melbourne's biggest crowd is 40,000 for the season against Collingwood. They had 36 against Richmond and nothing else over 30.
Let go, let go. Stand up, take your kick.
No, go back. You got the kick. You got the kick.
So Etihad gets it off Harvey. It's been a sub the last couple of matches, Etihad, in the last fortnight. So he hasn't had a crack at it for a little while. He's been a goal kicker this year. He's kicked 9. He had a nice little burst where he's kicking a couple every second week, and that's a good-looking kick, just drifting. So 2 set shots, 2 behinds.
Which is all of a sudden they're having trouble getting out of that part of the ground, the Kangaroos. The Carlton are really pressing up hard, every player in this defensive part.
Get a great look actually on the screen here. This is the zone from the kick in, but it follows on in constant play.
Well, Petrie was coming up on the lead for the kick coming out from Ferrito, and his arm was held by Henderson. He just jabs it in short. Dangerous kick again. Tui got his fingertips to it. Laidler to Henderson, who was standing the mark. Kicks inside the forward 50. Garlett is down there, outnumbered. Jumping over the pack for Rito. Garlett back into the action very quickly. Gave Betts a half chance because of that pressure. Hooks it down towards full forward. Thompson missed it. Thornton sends it back looking for Ellard. Chopped off by Harvey. Swallow quickly onto the boot. Gives it to Goldstein. Bastanak, like this boy, swings it out wide close to the boundary line. That's not a bad result.
It becomes a really emotional moral rinse for Carlton to be able to trap the Kangaroos in there. They're kind of just little contests that are really important in the formation of the game.
It's very much a contested game at the moment, quite scrappy, and as a result, disposal efficiency is down.
But all in Carlton's half, isn't it? Free kick against
North! Hold on, mate. Thank you.
McLean. So Swallow. Swallows kick wide again. They're kicking to one-on-one contests are making it difficult. The only other game we've called together this year, Dennis, I reckon Swallow against the Crows was probably the beginning of the end for Neil Craig when you think back. I mean, he just dominated Adelaide that day. Yep. Smashed them, didn't he, in the centre square.
Wonderful.
So Cruiser at the back, Goldstein at the front, Judd searching for the footy. Swallows handball to Zeeble down low, good tackle. I think it was Gibbs, is it?
No chance, good tackle. Thanks, Bryce.
So something of a nervous start by the Kangaroos. Bounce close to the boundary line. Don't be surprised to see it go out. Don't be surprised to see Swallow kick it down towards half forward. There's Dygan, chops it off. Henderson comes across the ground. Davies tracking it. Still Davies running out of space. Well, it's gone out of bounds as predicted, but on the opposite side of the ground.
Just seeing the pressure that Carlton apply on their forward 50, Betts, Garlett, these sorts of players. They average over 14 tackles inside their forward 50, third in the competition, and the intensity's there from the start.
Pasternak going nowhere. McLean got him, and it's going to be a McLean free kick. So he gets an early possession. Judd yet to have one. Big crowd, big night for North. I mentioned a nervous start, maybe understandable. They're looking for a berth in the 8. And tonight they come up against Chris Judd. This week the poster boy for berths. Ball goes across towards midfield, taken by Tui, who is very casual. They could pay the price. Ball spills towards Campbell. Campbell is through. Should kick a goal. Closes to 35 and puts it through. For a minor score. He got into his celebration. He took me with him.
Should have kicked it. He could have ran closer to goal too. He's very quick. There was no one on his tail. Sometimes you can make a 30-metre shot into a 20-metre shot much more kickable.
Tell that's expensive. Expensive miss and expensive that he's taking Dennis with him on a holiday. So Garlett the centre wing. Judd front spot. Rawlings all clever by Ellard pushing forward. Ferrito played it cleverly. Wells has had a couple of kicks in this back half. That one wide and out of play. Well, Lindsay Thomas will be sitting at home and thinking, I would have got that one, but Campbell missed his old mate.
Steady.
Well, that's why he's not playing, isn't it? They just remind me so much of one another. They were goal for goal in their first season together.
I always think, like, Carlton have got Garlett and Betts. I always think when Campbell and Thomas are both in form, both playing well, they give that partnership small forward to the Kangaroos. Good when they're both there.
So Cruiser won that tap. Zeeble and Cruiser. Oh, gee, Cruiser bent his back in the tackle. And a ball. Richo.
Yeah, Aaron Edwards has taken Davies deep. Drew Petrie normally plays that role. Edwards is the half-forward hit-up. I think he thinks he's got a mismatch on Davies.
Close to the boundary line. Scotland couldn't keep it in. Well, it's out now.
Yes, it's interesting, as Richo pointed out, with the Edwards playing deeper, it means that Petrie's playing more upfield. I guarantee you Lockie Henderson's going to be more comfortable if Petrie's playing away from goal rather than around the full forward line.
Actually, Bruce, you've got that conversation in my head now. I'm thinking about Lindsay Thomas watching, and he says, I could have got that, and his significant other says, no, you couldn't have. And there's a blue on. Could you,
He did kick 7 in the corresponding match last year.
He did, but we've seen him miss some classics this year, Lee and I, watching on radio. We've seen a lot of North Melbourne. Down goes Edwards, and he's going to get the free.
Into possession. Mark's there.
It's just amazing. He was such a sharpshooter, wasn't he? You think back just 12 months ago. That was on Friday Night Footy too, wasn't it?
Yep.
I knew I was here. Edwards goes down towards half forward. Juggled attempt at the mark by Petrie. Nothing doing. Over the football, Armitage, or rather Armfield. It's going to be a free kick, and it's going for the lingering tackle on Armfield.
He was good last week, Armfield. 21 disposals, 3 goals against the Bombers. He was part of the Judd Kennedy trade, and he's been a pretty good third man, to be honest. Reliable player when he comes in. So Elliott at half-back. Hard to score, so 2 points to 1 in the early stage in the match.
Carlton, Warnock kick. Arms around holding him. He can't go to the ball. You're holding him. Had no intention of going to the footy. Play on.
So heard the call. So Yaron running sweetly and then kicks to the pocket. Going very early with Simpson. Rawlings chasing hard. Garlick chasing Rawlings. That's deliberate.
Deliberate. Hayden Simpson straight to the line. Hey, against the fence.
Well, that was a pretty obvious handball out of bounds. You could have at least tried to handball it down the line, and try and put a bit of doubt in the umpire's mind. I think when you got Garlick chasing you there, you do panic a bit. He is quick, and he does clamour on.
So Simpson, left footer, so not the worst angle for him. And that one not coming around. In fact, it might have missed the lot. So Carlton, a bit wayward early. They've had 3 set shots. Albeit that wasn't easy, but he's missed the lot.
Certainly looking the more impressive of the two teams at the moment, but not putting it on the board. Cunnington.
I would think the Kangaroos' first point is to keep close for as long as possible. I mean, even that's a bit of a win.
Out of bounds.
On that, Lee, I reckon they'd be very happy, particularly with these statistics here, if they can get on top of Carlton, who are a very good contested ball side and a very high tackling side. If they can match the Blues in those areas, keep it on their terms, they'll be able to hang in there.
Keep it low scoring early and just keep trying to build the pressure.
Goldstein and Warnock virtually fought a draw. Swallow has been busy. Murphy burrows in, got the football. Swallow's got him, fell at their feet. Davies reaches for it. Harper underneath. Whistle.
Didn't dive on it.
I think that basic point, the team that's the outsider of the two teams, and Kangaroos are tonight, the longer they can keep in the contest, the more doubt you put in the favourite's mind, which is Carlton tonight.
Scotland did well over the top initially. Now around the boundary, Murphy. Only as far as Ellard. Goldstein looking to keep it in, went looking for Greenwood with the hand pass, but it was out.
So a lot of play and half forward for Carlton so far in this opening term. Robinson overran it. Quick kick forward by Bastanak. Davies at half back. Just his second game for this season. He was given a lot of space, and then a half a spoil by Pedersen. Laid the good hands. Got to Ellard. That's a magnificent kick. It's like a bullet to Betts.
It's where the agility is. We know he can beat him in the reach and in the air, Thompson, but Betts just reads the kick so well. That was just a conventional full forwards leading into the right space when your teammate upfield has got the space to deliver. Should have given the handballs early here, Davies, to Yaron.
He only had 9 kicks last week, Betts. We know what happened. He kicked 8 goals, and he gets the first tonight. So Betts, well, he would have been a popular pick, wouldn't he?
real arm wrestle at the moment. Certainly been playing any contest if we look at some of the stats, 23-18 in favour of North. And as Lee mentioned, the longer they can keep it in that contest, but one to come off the hook like that. And Eddie Betts certainly in good form with 8 goals last week, but he's not just a ground player, Lee. So he can
that's what he does so well, doesn't he? Just lead into the footy as any good forward does.
Well, this is the start Eddie Betts wanted. After you've had a big game the week before, you want to start well. And if you're going to come through the corridor like that, it makes it a lot easier for the forwards to lead. There is Chris Judd. Hasn't had a touch as yet. Adams and Swallow have been tag teaming on him.
Swallow slips a hand pass away. Zeeble under pressure. Charging in was Robinson, left the footy behind. Second chance for Zeeble, going down towards half forward. Going back to the flight though, Scotland. Easy enough. Interesting. Well, Betts was lining up at goal. You may have seen that snatch, that quick shot we had of Brett Bratton. And he said, move Robinson forward, or Robbo, and he's gone forward. So keep an eye on that. The throw, meantime, going against Yaron as he tried to weave his magic and weave his way through.
But you just threw it up.
Very creative bounce he did there. I think he bounced it on the end.
Umpires tonight, Vozzo, that was he. McBurney and Stewart. McBurney giving the deliberate. Umpire Stewart just merging at the moment like a chameleon. He's out there with 2 of the big names in the yellow. Murphy to Judd. Speaking of big names, breaks through the wing, goes down towards the pocket. Walker, who was wonderful last week, wonderful again here. Goes long down towards full forward and misses to the near side. May have just brushed the post. Wait for the goal umpire. No. A narrow miss then, but a wonderful build-up.
Sure was. So Harvey gets it from Wells. And then Harvey, well, they're on here. Edwards can look up. He's got a vacant paddock. He'll set it up, I think, for Pedersen to run on to. He's got the goal. Listen to the roar here.
What a kick.
Great example of a coast-to-coast goal there from North Melbourne from the kick-in. Carlton have been really well structured in their defensive zone from the kick-in. They've continued that the normal run of play. So what that does is leave you open to get a goal over the top, and North Melbourne exploited that perfectly. Also used the ball with real precision when they
What's the quick kick in? What did they? Got the quick kick in, got it down the middle, and then they just opened up Carlton. Just have a look at this when Yaron's taken off. Brent Harvey's his direct opponent. No real chaser. I guarantee if Brent Harvey had the footy, he would have taken off with it a lot quicker than the chase he put on. They wouldn't be happy with that.
Well, the irony of that goal, the great kicking, because North Melbourne's field kicking so far has been awful. They've been kicking to Carlton, to be honest, but they split the middle there, didn't they? And ball's still not quite out. This is where the Kangaroos have done really well in the clearances. Swallow to the 4, Harvey wide, Richardson, North to build.
Richardson inside the forward 50. Miscues, or does he? Well, he's found a teammate. That's the most important factor. Adams is only about 40 metres out, slight angle. Certainly didn't look exquisite off the boot. Carried a couple, although watching that again, we'll see whether he did intend that. I reckon he might have. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. We do that here, especially to ourselves. Adams kicks from 40, and that's a lovely kick. So in the twinkling of an eye, North Melbourne have grabbed the lead.
He always reminds me a little bit, Lee Adams is the Kangaroos version of the Carlton's Mitch Robinson. They kind of just are real hard nuts. They just fill in a role in the forward line, hard at the footy, but still pretty talented when the ball comes in their direction. He's been a very, very valuable player for the Kangaroos, Adams. He's been very good. Swallow, been terrific in tight, as he always is.
I spoke to Brad Scott last night and I talked about Adams. He said, look, you don't have favourites, but he's up there. But I said he sprays it, but he just about jumped out the phone at me. He said he's the most reliable kick at the club. Well, there you go.
He's certainly the teacher's pet now, Bruce. Everyone knows about it.
Well, he's earned it. He's a hard nut.
Fine. He never dragged it in, guys. Just trying to get it out.
Last time Scotty talks about this.
What North Melbourne have done really well is they've got themselves on top in the clearances here. It's 8-3, and it's a real strength of Carlton. So Brad Scott certainly be happy with that output so far.
So McLean is one of those guys who will want to get the ball held onto by Zeeble. Zeeble's been impressive. Bastanak, Swallow, Rawlings, back to Zeeble in traffic, and then that's a clever kick, side of the foot to Cunnington, and Cunnington short, and Harvey. So North have had a terrific 4 or 5 minutes, plays on, improves the angle, kicks the goal. They've got 3 in a hurry.
They have broken open the Carlton defence. They've only gone inside 55 times, the Kangaroos. As it is, no, let me have a look. No, 9 times they've gone in. It's been a really good patch, though, this last 5 minutes. Every time they've gone forward, they've been able to kick a goal.
Really crafty play, Brent Harvey, no doubt about that, and a good learning experience here for Chris Young. You just look, you know Brent Harvey's going to, he almost has a look at him, hands on hips, goal.
These two have basically proved the maximum footy. You can always run quicker forward than backwards.
There's Greenwood, tackled by Judd, managed to get a hand pass away. Armfield, Scotland, Robinson running down towards right half forward, drives it long towards full forward. Thompson works in front, loose ball at the back, danger. Thompson did well, got back and stripped Betts, and they clear the ball out of trouble. I think it was Tarrant towards the outer side. Ellard, Simpson in trouble. Simpson 60 metres out. Hansen was the man who cleared the zone. He's going to be called on again here, but he gets a fist on it and knocks it out of bounds. Well, just taking a quick look at the stats.
Shepherding free kick here, Dennis.
It's got a Warnock, is it?
Yeah, the North Melbourne player just saw that Warnock was going to have a run at the pack and just basically held his ground, but the umpires adjudicated the block here. Yeah, I think it was. Fairly subtle, but I think we knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing.
What McMahon needed to do was actually be part of the pack and launch at it also. If he sort of feigned the body contact and jumped at the ball, no problem.
Well, hasn't always got these this season. Warnock in and hits the post.
Well called, Dennis.
Well, it's becoming something of a mental problem for him, isn't it? Only 15 metres out. He's a good kick. He's a good field kick, but around goal now, they're starting to add up. Wasting no time, McMahon kicks it in. Scotland goes up and takes a strong mark. Swallow with 9 possessions. Judd coming up to his second. Murphy has 3. And you've got to say, when Swallow is on, he's like a self-sourcing pudding. He's one of those explosive starters and gets himself in the mood.
Judge kicked to full forward. Ellard down low. Goldstein's hands were good. And now Greenwood tries to get the ball as far as he can. Now Petrie held up, and it's a good grab almost. Laidler did well. Boundary throw in. See, looking at Warnock a moment ago, it was just like that kick against the Cats, wasn't it, where he missed it?
And he didn't kick through that one either. I mean, basically, he's tried to steer it instead of kicking it into the back of the stand.
Concussed, of course, that night. Now Bastanak's quick kick. Yaron missed it. Campbell on the up. Petrie couldn't quite. Well done, Henderson. Cunnington to Bastanak. Spent it before he had it. Wins the ball back. Well played by Yaron. Cunnington needs to get a handball away. Laidler down low with Greenwood. Back to Tui. Tui, that's well played actually. He got the ball out of the danger zone. Free kick against Walker to Tarrant. Coach is close to it. Saw his reaction. So Tarrant kicks to the pocket. Not a great kick. That's out on the full, I think. It is. That's a poor kick.
No real advantage kicking that one. Just see the free kick here. Clash of heads. But the long kick down the line, not favouring the forwards.
Here's Murphy. Nobody near him. Plays on. Right half back. Coming down towards right half forward. Good talk from Walker. Telling Thornton he was safe coming back. He took the mark. Had to go back anyway. That's a nice kick. Lovely kick around the corner under the chest of Armfield. But it's nice to know that there's nobody there. And Walker let him know that. So Armfield is about 50 metres out. This will take his best. Carlton could do with it right now. They're down by 9, but certainly momentum has suddenly started wearing blue and white. Wow. If he needed his best, I'm not sure where that one is seated, but it's not near the top.
Definitely got the sense that he was worried with the distance, got really close to the man on the mark and tried to overkick it.
Sort of go looking for your ball, wouldn't you? You might play a second shot, I think. So the Kangaroo, they've missed a few, the Blues, haven't they, in this first quarter? Scotland's been terrific again. I mean, what a season he's having.
His contested marking's become a real highlight.
Henderson's held Petrie out of the contest really well. He'll get pinned for it in due course, I reckon.
It's a long... Tried it again. Well, who says lightning doesn't strike twice?
He's got a taste for it now, hasn't he? That was
we're talking to him at halftime about his mark last week. Wow. Judd trying to get through, held on to. Does he get a free? No. Betts tries to fend off, can't get rid of Wells. And then Swallow, who's been so good. Swallow, another guy that we talked to at halftime, belts the ball away. We're going to be busy at halftime, Dennis.
Yeah, we're talking to some good ones. The ball goes out of bounds. That was wonderful by Swallow. 10th possession. And he gets it to run out of bounds. The only man out there was a Carlton player.
I think that would have been a free kick if there was such a thing as a video referral.
I think so. John a bit stiff there. A lot being made in recent days of the fact he's given a little more time than most. Here's Wells, and the ball just trickles out of bounds. Here's Richard.
Yeah, Drew Petrie's only had the one touch, but he's been quite influential because he's always drawing a loose player towards him, Dygan or Laidlaw. That gives North an extra player around the stoppages.
No, he's a real key tonight, isn't he? Zeeble can't quite get it clear. Bastanak, quick kick back to a contest. Carlton had all the flyers. Dygan, Campbell's been an influential player. Hasn't had a lot of the ball, but when he has, they have Dygan. Is that deliberate?
Straight the line, no player there.
So Edwards gets it. Edwards short to Campbell. He looks up Campbell tonight. He looks really busy. Kick to Pedersen. He got the opening goal for the Kangaroos, and that's a wonderful kick, and he's a strong player, Petrie. There's the two that Richo talked about.
He was able to get back and come off the full forward line in this play. So often he's had to get up almost to half-back to give the Kangaroos the get-out, big guy out wide just to clear their back 50.
Well, he's a thumping kick. This is a big kick because he's a long way out and he's on a tight angle. So Murphy was in the front there, so he was the incidental second really there. So Petrie close to the man on the mark. It's a wonderful looking kick, not quite coming back. And North Melbourne, you feel like they've got a real taste for this tonight. Lead by 10 points.
Really interesting type, Drew Petrie. He's very tall, be 6'4" or 6'5" in the old, has great aerobic capacity, launches at the ball with long straight arms and splits packs. He's a fantastic focal point for North Melbourne.
Minute to quarter time, Thornton. North by 10. Great start for them now. Carlton had any illusions this was going to be easy.
Carlton!
I'm sure they realise it's not. Armitage done that twice. Armfield, right half back now, may have to come off under the blood rule.
That's active blood. Chris Judd.
Do you think Chris Judd's going to take this kick? I reckon there's probably been half a dozen North Melbourne players standing next to Chris Judd. It's not a one-on-one match-up. It's if you're near Chris Judd, just get to him so that he can't get an easy possession. But there's no one Kangaroos player that's going with him.
Team responsibility, eh?
Yeah,
goes across to Dygan. Dygan just lays it in front of Yaron. Yaron got there. That pace really helps him out in that situation. I thought for a moment the hand pass was going to be short. Henderson on the far side wraps it up right against the boundary line. Henderson comes back across the ground to Robinson. So Carlton, it seems, content to run down the clock. Down to 14 seconds. One more good kick will do it. Inside the centre square. Oops, there's still time. 8 seconds. Down goes Ferrito, making no attempt to get rid of it, Ferrito, but the clock is down to 2. Siren quarter time. North Melbourne should be well satisfied with that turn. Sluggish start, obviously realising the enormity not only of playing Carlton, but what it meant to them. But when they settled down, they played the best football in the game. 3-2 to 1-4, Friday night football. Big night for this man, Lee Adams. Spent some time on Chris Judd. He is a gritty customer. Strong mark there. And how's this for preparation, Nick? We followed him during the week, knowing he'd take a mark like that. And we've got him getting some acupuncture down at North Melbourne. There wouldn't be many players at this stage of the season who are 100% fit, surely.
Yeah, that'd be fair call.
I reckon everyone is doing something, looking for that edge. At quarter time, North Melbourne 3-2-20, Carlton a 1-4-10. And as you can see, Andrew Swallow has been very, very busy. In that term, North Melbourne locked away in their back line for quite a while, couldn't get it out, but then there was a turning point. They moved it from coast to coast.
There's only 3 ways you can score in AFL football: stoppages, turnovers and kick-ins. And in kick-ins here, as you see, you don't actually score too often from kick-ins, goals that is. Look at this one, Kangaroos. They're a team that actually, they're probably midfield in terms of actually goals from kick-ins. You don't score them too often, as I said, but look, that's a big one, and it's a real confidence booster for the side.
That was a magnificent kick too by Aaron Edwards. I've seen him quite a bit in recent weeks, and he's in top form. Not kicking a lot of goals, but that sort of thing really has been exemplifying his play.
Exactly right. And when he actually does have shots at goal, when he's inside 50, he has been accurate, so he's making the most of his opportunities.
Brad Scott is standing by. He's with Matthew Richardson.
Brad, Carlton are #1 clearance team in the comp. You've smashed them. Is that the key going forward?
I think it's important, but we haven't been able to score from many of those clearances, so their spare back's been quite effective, so I think we've readdressed that at quarter time.
Good tag team job on Chris Judd so far. Are you going to keep going with that?
Yeah, we will. I think it's really important we get a team effort in there. So, Andrew Swallow, Daniel Wells, those sorts of players are going to play on him. And, he's a champion player, so we know that he'll bounce back in the next 3 quarters.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Well, of course, that's a two-edged sword, isn't it? Great players haven't had a lot of the ball. You know it could be coming at any moment.
Yeah, he's going to explode, don't you?
Well, you hope he doesn't, but, chances are he might. We'll wait and see. At the moment, North Melbourne on top by 10. Here's Bruce.
So the second quarter on the Friday night match at Etihad about to start. The Kangaroos and the Blues. Terrific opening term. Betts got the opening goal and the Kangaroos got the next 3 in the match. Carlton missed a couple. And a free kick coming up.
On the ball. Must making a genuine attempt. Just dive straight on it.
So against Murphy.
And Carlton, they've got 3 #1 draft picks out there, and Chris Judd combined have only had the 9 disposals in the first quarter, so there is some upside from their star players.
So Murphy, one of those #1s, along with Gibbs, and also Cruiser. Adams did the team thing. He probably should have had a shot because the ball was just too low for Pedersen. So a big layoff here, a let off, and Yaron has just obviously been given a licence to really expose North Melbourne. A 4th running bounce. He's had a heap of those in the first quarter and a bit. Hansen back. Well-weighted handball. And that's a good kick to down the line. Tarrant. And in the end, it eluded the Kangas. I thought they were in the prime spot. Scotland back to Cruiser. Protect the footy and took the mark. So North missed a real chance there. Adams streaking into goal and kicked the ball at Pedersen's toe straps. Thornton trying to get into Hansen. At the back, Thompson. Well, he stood up in the tackle, and then Zeeble broke the tackle straight to Gibbs, and Gibbs, there's one of those #1s, gets the goal.
Yes, they just were a bit shaky in the back group, the Kangaroos. Then they had the chance to clear it, but they just tried to be a little bit precise, tried to make sure they maintain possession. Sometimes you just got to actually get the ball out towards the boundary line and just go wide instead of that close-in turnover. Have a look at it there. They're just trying. We're trying to be a bit too precise. And you turn the ball over in that part of the ground, it's an automatic shot at goal from point-blank range to the opposition.
And probably looking at it again, Lee, a hand pass might have been better too. He was trying to paint the Mona Lisa in there, and that's not the spot to do it. And that's a criticism, I reckon, of modern-day players. So often they just don't kick it. I understand what they're trying to do, but there is a downside, and we saw it right there. Armfield tackle, ball jarred loose. There's Zeeble. Had a breakout game a couple of games ago when he had 41 possessions. Umpire will do it again. Umpire McBurney. Real entertaining start, this one. Knocked down by Warnock. Under pressure, Richardson advanced at about 10 metres. Very slick from Simpson, going back into his defensive half. Came across from Tui to Yaron. This is McLean. He's on the wing. Slips a hand pass away to Murphy. Murphy goes down towards half forward. Gibbs misjudged it completely. Oh, wow.
Front on contact, Michael. There.
I'd like to see that again. Gibbs has got the football, got the last goal. He's about 70 metres out, sets it up long down towards full forward. Grounded was Cruiser, got a hand to it. Thompson, head down, tries to bullock his way through. Simpson got into his move early, dragged down. Now he just acquiesces down there, hands above the head. Watch this again.
The contact just has to be almost a brushing contact, and it's a free, which is probably what it was then.
Yeah, I reckon it was a free. Apologies to the umpire. I'm backtracking. So is Gibbs. When the ball is out of bounds, so is McMahon. We'll have a throw in.
But it was a soft touch, wasn't it, from Ferrito?
I don't think there'd ever be a soft touch from Ferrito. You know, even his soft touches would hurt, Bruce.
Yeah, hurt you and me.
Touch it with your little finger. It's probably going to be a free kick in that circumstance in those kind of adjudications.
Wasn't much to.
So Carlton, opening goal. Close the gap. Betts lurking. Harvey, well done by Swallow. What a fine game he's having. 10 disposals in the opening quarter, 7 of them contested. Laidler gets away from Pedersen. Tui did well, arched his back. Ambitious kick inside. McLean trapped it well. Now he's got a problem.
Punching it to yourself, Brock. Punching it to yourself. Play on.
So, heard the call. Harvey, again, North kick to a contest. Their field kicking's been disappointing for most of the night. A couple of times it's been spectacularly good and a ball up.
I get the impression that when the game opens up and flows a little bit, Carlton are much better. If the Kangaroos can keep it tight, keep pushing it wide, that'll be good for them.
McLean gave it to Scotland. Scotland having a great game. Armfield kicks it down towards half forward. Back goes McMahon. Worried out of it by Simpson. He's a good player. Simpson around the corner. It's 2-on-1. Gibbs, slap on the scone. Didn't stop him. Runs into an open goal. Back-to-back goals for Gibbs. Back-to-back goals for the Blues, and they hit the front.
Must have heard you, Tom, those number ones, eh?
There's a few number ones out there, Bruce, but actually Swallow was the number one, and he's certainly a lot of class midfielders out there tonight, but Swallow's the one that's actually just controlling the takeaways. But gee, they've got to get a lot of them, the Kangaroos, because as soon as the ball gets into space, Carlton look much more dangerous.
Swallow's numbers, Lee, aren't that dissimilar to Judge this year. I know obviously doesn't have the same impact, but
just clean ball use here from Carlton. They've got the 2-on-1 in their forward line. They've certainly got the 2-on-1 in the back line. So the accountability from the North Melbourne players is just a little bit skewed at the moment.
So no kicks in the opening term. He had the kick-ins, Gibbs, but the 2 goals in this quarter to put the Blues in front. Ellard, well done to Judd, to Gibbs. So those high draft picks that was quiet in that opening term. Gibbs to half forward to Cruiser. They're all getting involved.
True.
Tarrant. Hanson, Swallow, that one again cut off. Gee, North Melbourne, there's going to be a lot to show on the tape on Monday, I'd think. Ellard, shaken off. Swallow, belts the ball forward, tries to get it out, gets it to 50, Gibbs his hands, Murphy, clever, well done to Walker.
Unbelievably clever kick there from Murphy. Most players would just blaze away from 55, but he's obviously had the peripheral vision just to drop it up, chip it into space, and a courageous mark from Walker.
I've got to say, those high draft picks have really come to the fore in this term, haven't they? I mean, Gibbs and now Murphy, Walker, number 2 take. So the Blues with a chance to put a third second quarter goal on the board. He's kicked 44 goals this year. He's been brilliant in terms of his accuracy. Set shots have been 27-5 before tonight. And there you go. That's an easy one for him. So a couple of behinds tonight for Walker.
Got electric pace also, Walker. He's part of that Carlton forward 50 group. that genuinely puts on forward pressure, which enables them to get repeat inside 50s.
Tarrant out of the back pocket then, sends a high ball. Armfield in from the side, some holding on. Petrie gets the free. Lee predicted that would happen sooner or later.
Matter of time, Dennis, that one.
Harper goes across to Campbell. Campbell runs to 50, goes to Wells. Man on in the square, slips it across. Pedersen gets his second. Well, they've done it again. One end to the other.
Yeah, they didn't go down the middle because I think when they went straight down the centre corridor in the first quarter for that running goal, I mean, that was just Collingwood's, Carlton's zone that didn't get into place. They forced them wide. That was a good advantage. That was the way the advantage rule should be. Yep. It was a free kick. The ball went over the back. The Kangaroos kept going. No confusion whatsoever. And then they had the extra number forward.
Well, this is the second coast-to-coast goal from a kick-in we've seen from North Melbourne tonight, but it's going to be a problem going forward. They can't rely on this all night. There's a real dominance to Carlton on the inside 50s, 19-10. They're going to have to get goals from that clearance dominance.
Well, Murphy wins this clearance, so the Blues might be doing something about the imbalance, gets it back, and then kicks to Simpson. On the swing, Simpson. He was allowed to run a fair way, and good kick inside, and Robinson takes the mark. So the marks inside 50 we thought would be a factor for North Melbourne. No Jamison, lots of stats about that.
Yeah.
But Carlton getting one here.
It's just, but again, it's the quick ball movement. They are very good, very skilled side, Carlton. Got plenty of movement and speed.
It's been poor from set shots this year, Robinson. 2 goals, 5. Well, that's an Armfield kicker. They're shots for goal. I mean, they've had a lot of set shots for not much return. So Tarrant short.
Under pressure, gets the kick off. Across the boundary line, I would have thought.
1 goal, 4 and 2 out of bounds from set shots, Dennis.
What a conference here.
You can't tell whether it was 100. Is there a 2 grab?
No, I just can't tell whether the ball was completely over the line when he touched it because I was so close to the contest.
1 clear grab will pay the mark.
Yep.
Will pay the mark.
He was a long way over.
Gee, well, the real story was, did the guy in front
touch it?
Davies touch it? I think he did. And I think that's what the boundary umpire was saying.
Clangs on 2 fronts. Touchdown out of bounds.
Well, yeah, the boundary umpire said I couldn't tell, I was too close to it, whether he touched it. He didn't say mark it. There's Harper meantime, McLean, Yaron, oh, practising to be an umpire, got some height on the bounce, on his knees, slips a hand pass away. Going back, Armfield did well, gave it across towards Ellard, went to Gibbs, here's a chance, now McLean, oh, got an unkind bounce. The ball momentarily barracking for North, Thompson for Rito, flicked it, throw against Burrito. Got it to Greenwood, who was off and running, but the ball coming back to Judd.
I think Yaron's had 9 running bounces. What's the world record for bounces? Because he might be on pace.
63. It goes inside the forward 50, and the mark is taken by Simpson. He's playing well.
Who had 63, Dennis?
I'll get back to you. Short one down towards the pocket, and the mark is taken by Garland.
I must say, Chris Yaron, when he gets the ball off halfback, his first thought is, can I run and bounce, isn't it? Absolute first thought.
I think it was Michael Mitchell. I had to think of somebody who did
Brilliant.
It's someone obscure enough. Unlike Bruce, I make up some of these stats. Just try and flip the team. There goes the kick from Garland. It's bending back, but not enough. Behind. 2 points the difference.
Would have been fun to watch if anyone had 63 bounces, wouldn't it? Could you imagine the spectacle that would be?
KB might have once, who knows. So 1 goal, 5 and 2 out of bounds on the full from set shots. I didn't make it up either then, but Pedersen, who's been on the end of a couple of goals tonight. And then Davies, he was careful, he didn't run the ball out. Scotland held on to free kick. Advantage given. McLean, again a good advantage. Murphy, lovely looking kick. Oh, Garlett and also Rawlings. It was a dangerous ball. Now Garlett tries to get it back. Who's got it? I don't know. Somebody has and somebody's gone.
No genuine attempt. Punching it to yourself, it's not genuine attempt. Just punching it to yourself, it's not a genuine attempt.
It's a big discrepancy, isn't it?
You're meant to try and at least knock it out, but you're punching it to yourself. It's not a genuine attempt. It's Simpson. Thanks, mate. Yep. Cheers.
So-
It's your line, Mark's there. Daniel.
Heard the explanation. So let's see if Carlton can do something about these set shots they've been missing.
They'd be happy to give it to Simpson. He's really reliable from this distance usually.
Well, they've had 8 set shots tonight for 1 goal. And they've, all of them, well, 6 of the 8 have been really gettables. A couple maybe less than 50-50. There you go. It's a disease, isn't it?
The team's got the disease.
So 9 set shots to equal Yaron's running bounces.
Geez, they kick 63, they'll be going, have 63 shots a goal, they'll be going okay.
All right, I made it up. Kick towards the wing, Pedersen is up. Got hands to it. You should know not to ask when I'm on. Ask Bruce. Here's Harvey. Short one, goes to the wing. Edwards takes the mark. Looks inside. Dangerous, very dangerous. Chopped off by McLean. Goes to Simpson, having a terrific turn. Oh, that's a beautiful kick under pressure. Garland takes the mark. Flirts with the idea of going inside. Why should he? You'd think this is tailor-made just to drift it back right to left here for the fella.
Be an easier kick if they were 7-3 rather than 3-7. All of a sudden the pressure builds.
Garland. Well, who had this song? It was Ben Lee, wasn't it? Catch My Disease.
Correct.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
I didn't make that up, see?
He's up and about, Jeff Gull. We just see it just skewed slightly off the boot, but he's certainly getting up and about. Brady Rawlings had certainly the better of him in the first quarter, but at the very least he's finding space in the forward line at the moment.
What about North Melbourne's field kicking? I mean, saw Edwards a moment ago. They're continually turning it over.
Play on.
They're taking dangerous options. When they come off, they can break the line. Zeeble and Pedersen, the Flyers. Harper got rid of the tackle. Well played. Wants the handball, puts Wells under the pump. Beautiful give to Swallow. Swallow runs hard, kicks the ball out wide, gives Richardson the chance. Ellard, good contest. Ellard, Richardson, ball coming back. Carlton have done pretty well here. They've held it up. Now, who's got it? I can't tell.
9. Ball came out under Carlton.
When Swallow came through the middle, he just wanted his forward to just charge back towards the open goal, but they sort of didn't really go. Carlton's defence kept them from doing so.
Swallow with a high tackle, Carlton free, but Swallow's been throwing himself about 15 possessions now.
9 contested, 6 clearances. That's a pretty good quarter and a half, isn't it?
Yep. Get a figure on his tackles in a moment too, because he's laid quite a few. It's one of those players, when he starts well, he really sets up for a big game. Judd on the outer side goes short. Thornton on his chest. 26 apiece. And fortune's fluctuating. Robinson missed an easy mark, tried to give it to Judd, stolen away by Wells. Bastanak clips it over the top. Half a bit of a fumble. Gets boot to ball. Searching kick inside the forward 50. Henderson, reason to be nervous. No, well played. Too nimble. Pulled away there with the G-forces on the bend. Just got away from Petrie and put it on the chest of Thornton, who comes back to Yaron. Yaron looks up the middle. Used Laidler as a decoy. Still may use him.
11,
comes back towards
12.
the middle. How about this, eh?
I'm counting his bounces.
I might have been right. Dygan. I might have been a few short. Comes out to Warnock. He's got the ball at left half back.
So, talk about North Melbourne's field kicking. Well, Carlton's kicking for goals been dreadful, and Warnock, who hit the post from point-blank range in the first quarter. That's a shocker. So Adams sets it up. Wants Pearce. Oh! What had even got him?
This is a byproduct, I reckon, of that hands in the back rule. Of course, when you're in the back position, you've got to jump at the footy. And he might have tried to ease Laidler under the ball in previous eras, but right now, jump at the footy because that's your best choice.
And it's both ways, Leo. And we're seeing defenders take marks because they're not chopping arms.
Yeah.
I think it's a fantastic rule.
Gee, that's a big jump, isn't it? When you look at that angle.
It's a massive jump and a great-looking kick. Like Walker, he kicks the goal after the big one.
I have seen some absolutely outstanding hangers this year, and that's one of the best. And Lee, you're right. It's the fact that the players are launching for the ball because that's their only option, really.
I think we've seen half a dozen marks this year that are in all-time sort of great category. That's because players have been encouraged to have a crack at that big grab. And Petrie's as good as any at it.
Good player, isn't he? He's a really good player.
Yeah.
Well, this is just a hanger from Drew Petrie. His contested marking form is unbelievable at the moment. I reckon he actually likes having that loose player in front of him. He's getting plenty of opportunities to fly for marks like this, and the form he's in, he's going to take plenty of them.
Back in the middle. Swallow yet again digs it out, slips a hand pass away. Thompson, not a particularly good kick, coming across Armfield, plays it to his own advantage, runs to the wing. Well, it sliced, but it went effectively enough and came across towards Murphy, who was able to mark a metre in from the line. Goes down that line, finds Gibbs. So, wonderful mark moments ago by Petrie, doing for Jeremy Laidler what Andrew Walker did for Jake Carlisle, just making them famous.
He looked like
they'll be in the picture too.
He looked like the kid in the backyard bending over to practice the big speckies in the backyard, didn't he?
Everyone did it, yeah.
As Yaron gets it back from Murphy, we'll ask later which was the best of the two, because they're almost a carbon copy. As back goes Thompson, takes the mark. A lot of our younger viewers are saying, what's a carbon copy? In the pocket, it's Pedersen.
So North by a goal, and what a goal it was. Goldstein, terrific grab. This is where the Kangaroos in the opening term sort of got on top, didn't they? But halfway through, Petrie over the back. Harvey, does it sit? It does. Wants to give it off. Does to Cunnington. Well, he just broke the McLean tackle. Good kick. And they've sliced them open again here. Edwards inside the 50.
Really efficient North Melbourne going forward at the moment. Carlton have had so much of their ball inside their forward half, particularly in this quarter, but just haven't been able to convert. They've missed some sitters in North, whether it be from a kick-in or a defensive rebound, been far more efficient going forward.
Now, speaking of accuracy, this guy has been the most accurate in the comp. His last 2 seasons have been remarkable. He's got it. North kicked 2 goals in front. Having a good patch again.
Well, it's been remarkable. I mean, Richo made that comment earlier that those getting forwards behind the defence is not something that's going to kick you 12 goals a game. You know, you get 2, 3, 4, and I reckon the Kangaroos have got 3 in that manner out of their 6. They just have been able to every now and again get behind the Carlton defence. In most other aspects of the game, Carlton have been on top, even though they're a long way behind. I guess inaccuracy kills you. That forward got free in the forward 50. How often has that happened tonight for the Kangaroos? 3 times, maybe 4.
And just the accuracy from set shots. North Melbourne 4 goals, 1. Carlton 1 goal, 7 and 2 out of bounds.
Edwards 14 goals for the season now. Adams over the football. Ball up. Chris Judd. By his lofty standards, pretty quiet, although he's lifted in this term. Bouncing around in there. Warnock eventually trying to give it down towards Etihad. Spills wide of the pack. Greenwood just gave it to Garlett. And now Judd slips a hand pass away. Too slick though for Murphy. The hand pass was pretty fierce. Greenwood did well. Swallow again. Releases Harvey. Run down. Holding the ball. Garlett came from nowhere.
Now that's the absolute opposite to the chase that Harvey could have put on. I think it was Yaron early on the game.
Early in the first quarter.
Yes, ignorance was not bliss there. It comes out wide to Scotland. Scotland around the corner. Half volley for Simpson. Great tackle for Rito.
Then Adams cuts it off. Back to Swallow. Swallow's kick just to a contest. Garlett scooped it up cleverly, really. Simpson. Back to Scotland. Scotland's kick's a good one. Murphy finding some space. Good kick. Warnock or Cruiser couldn't quite get down. Rawlings, Thompson. She did well there. It was like The Illusionist. Apparently it's a good movie. Out wide. Little kick coming now from Cunnington and finding Adams, who's got Richardson right under our noses out here, and he takes the mark. So pattern similar to the opening term. Carlton the best of it early. North coming back strongly. Prepared to switch it up. They've got the other side on here. McMahon Now, Swallows on down the ground. This is the way they'll go.
How could a man with 18 possessions get so loose? 19 now, kicks inside the forward 50. Gave it to a contest, but Pedersen wins the contest. Long hand pass, almost like a kick down towards full forward. Henderson in front, knocked it to his own advantage. Gave it to Thornton, to Scotland. Now it's with Laidler. Laidler looks across the ground. They've got 2-on-1 here. Hands in the back. Free kick to Murphy. Well, not a bad free to give away, in as much as Davies was pushing up to be the extra man. Murphy goes very short to Laidler. He's been a fine acquisition this season. Chips across towards half-back.
Hold there, hold.
More central spot. You can see the goal square just behind Murphy as he backs off. Now Tui. Under 3 minutes to half-time. And this quarter, like the match itself, we've seen both sides controlling play for lengthy periods. Here's Gibbs. What they need is a late goal, Carlton. Simpson. Enterprising night from Simpson. Up to 13 possessions now. Sends it high. Watch out for Wells from behind. Not required. Stayed out of the contest. Hansen had Cruiser covered. That's no mean feat. Hansen, right half back. Looks towards the wing. Sets it up. Petrie, can he take another one? Stays out of the contest. Tried to make it for Edwards. Ball runs free. Back goes Yaron.
Well, he didn't bounce at that time. For about the first time tonight, he had Gibbs loose, and then Gibbs switches cleverly to Dygan. Dygan with a paddock. Can he use the ball? Carlton need it. Kicks the ball very well to Thornton. So the Blues able to open it up. Saw Thornton miss one in the opening term.
Well, they've missed a fair few, haven't they, so far in this, particularly in this second quarter, Carlton, at 3 goals 8. I mean, they need to nail some of these shots. They're having more shots than the Kangaroos, but they're behind simply because the Kangaroos are taking theirs, Carlton are not.
So Thornton tucked away in the pocket, and has he got it? No. So this is really hurting them, isn't it? I mean, they've had 11 set shots for 1 goal. Thornton's missed a couple, but he's not on his own.
McMahon outside the defensive 50. Zeeble hands to it. Campbell got the crumb. Got it across to Cunnington. Leading back in the race is Laidler, trapped against the boundary line. Well, I think he was trying to get it to go out. It came to Tui. Back to Laidler. Now it's out on the full. Clock stops at 1:08. So plenty of time still. You'd have to be pleased. Hansen to Rawlings. Very much a superstar in a plain brown wrapper, Brady Rawlings. Just gives it across to Hansen. Tarrant split the indifference there. Comes away. Along the line, stretching. Adams can't take the mark. It's out of bounds.
It's a great point you make about Rawlings. Tonight he equals David King for games played, and then in the next couple of weeks he'll go past Wayne Carey and Shannon Grant. I mean,
good company, isn't it?
Yeah, he's in great company. 3 best and fairest at the club. So Zeeble, that one smothered. North will certainly lead at half-time. What will the margin be? Goldstein back to Greenwood. Their body strength's been impressive, the Kangaroos. Zeeble had a wonderful first half like Swallow. Interesting kick forward. Has he got a Petrie? Not quite. Campbell gets Scotland down. Carlton will try and hang on to it here. Who's got the ball again? And the ball's out of play. So North with the opportunity here to build on the lead. Now the tackle's inside the 50. Didn't quite get it. What a mark he took about 5 minutes ago. Cruiser, Goldstein, Judd. They'll need a big second half from the champ. Kicks to centre wing. Tarrant was good. Rawlings had a bit of an airy. The Blues just hanging here. Good tackle though. Out to Rawlings. Thompson down low. Rawlings gets possibly the last kick of the opening half. Greenwood, Scotland. Well, terrific opening half. Set up for what should be a a fabulous finish here because the underdogs are just in front.
No doubt about it. They're going well, the Kangaroos. I mean, Carlton, I think's inaccuracy is probably the reason that the Kangaroos are in front, but it's a pretty even game. They're doing well in the clearances, well in the contested possessions there, the Kangaroos.
So half-time, it's the Kangaroos over the Blues. 38 plays 27 on Friday Night Footy.
Football, North Melbourne back on Etihad Stadium, and they lead by 11 points. It's 6-2 to 3-9. The underdogs. A big second term after a sluggish start. North Melbourne led by 10 points at quarter time. So their football tonight, the longer it's gone, the better they've played. Carlton have had some very good patches, but they've been denied in front of goals. Some terrible misses for them. Now, Matthew Richardson is down on the boundary, and Matty, just talking about one of the players, North Melbourne low-key in the AFL. We know that. But as a result, that means not a lot of face time for Andrew Swallow, but he's relishing his chance tonight.
Well, he probably should get a bit more, Dan. He's having a great night. 19 touches and 7 clearances. He is elite in close at the moment. He's having a great year and a great night tonight. North aren't benefiting from his clearance work at the moment, though. They're scoring all their goals from transition and coast-to-coast footy. They need to get some more inside 50s from their clearance dominance. If they can do that, they're a long way to winning this game, I'll tell you. And some interesting fans down here tonight, Dan. I've been heckled an awful lot tonight.
What's the matter with them, Richard? Why would that happen to you?
I don't know. It's a different crowd down here tonight.
Is it?
Yeah,
did you do anything to anybody at these two clubs? Can
I'm not sure. Probably.
I was just going to say, the last time we saw Andrew Swallow was on a Sunday here during our coverage. 39 possessions. That was against Adelaide. 17 in the first quarter. He has that rare ability to really switch himself on in the first term. Not every week, but certainly his biggest games have started with a resounding thump and a lot of possession, Richard.
We see just the match of the mega wall, I should say there. Mark Murphy was the player for Carlton who really got going. Only had the 4 possessions in the first quarter, 11 in the second. Chris Judd picked up 6 himself in the second quarter, but really need to convert that lead, don't they?
Well, the other 3, the penetrators. Swallow is winning the ball better than any of them, but he hasn't got the penetration, the creativity of the other 3. And if Judd can get himself into the game, going to be an enormous plus, of course, for Carlton.
The Wells is that creativity for North Melbourne, only the 7 touches so far.
Second half begins on Friday Night Football. Warnock has to wait, still won the tap. Taken by Zeeble, hooks it across the body. Simpson, big second term, goes out wide. Ellard takes the mark.
Mark, Daniel.
So quite a contrast. Swallow 19 possessions. Chris Judd has 9. Not that they're manned up against each other, but they're in the vicinity of each other as Cruiser throws it on the boot. Thornton tries to keep it alive. It's out of bounds. We'll have a throw in.
I was going to say, valuable player Bryce Gibbs, isn't he? I mean, sometimes he plays defence, sometimes he plays midfield. Carlton tonight using him in the forward third. Very flexible, versatile player.
I'd say younger, or rather older than Oscar. I'm no expert in that field. After the ball goes Goldstein, despite having had 10 herself, there goes the ball out wide. And the mark is taken by the man just dropping back. Zeeble kicked it directly, though, to this man Laidler.
Laidler's played a really important role for Carlton tonight, peeling off often in front of Petrie. Petrie's just had the 3 possessions, but we did see that absolute towering mark.
Laidler's kick, ill-directed as well. Deep into the pocket. Thompson able to go back, and he liked that. It's out of bounds.
I reckon in these plays, the Carlton defenders won't be pressing up quite as forcefully, because really that 3 goals over the top has been the main way the Kangaroos have got their 6.
Warnock and Goldstein. Then Walker had Judd running, couldn't quite. And then Zeeble to Harvey. Harvey's long ball out, gets it almost to centre wing. Edwards holds his ground well. Little handball. Gee, Petrie's hands were good to Adams. Now Campbell, if it sits, this will be dangerous. It's sitting. It does now. He can kick a goal. No, he can't get enough on it. But the bounce might beat the lot of them. Here's half a chance. Richardson. No.
Because I was watching Richardson break down the commentary side of the ground with Scotland trailing him, had absolute electrifying leg speed. So that's kind of North Melbourne's avenue to go.
He was a state-class skateboarder, Richardson. That was his real go before footy. He could move both with the legs and on the skateboard.
At least that time the Kangaroos, the Carlton players got back with them to at least pressure.
Open from the side, Pedersen. Judd gets the crumb, slips a hand pass away. Davies, little combination with Warnock initially, then Judd sends it down towards half forward. Well done by Gibbs, stood his ground. Murphy, Ellard, nothing deep for Ellard, has to hang on for a while. Now he sets it up, going back towards goal. Gibbs, still Gibbs, stayed on his feet, snaps at his third, and just sneaks it in for a behind. Had I come up with that thing about the skateboard, I would have been laughed out of here. They would have said I made that up, Bruce. Is that for real?
It is for real, yeah.
Oh, okay.
King of the half pipe.
That's very impressive.
That's all I've got.
Just good enough.
I go home. Well, couldn't get it outside the 50 really. Thornton, who's also like Gibbs, switched to play forward tonight. McLean.
Just on that kick in by North Melbourne, there was no movement. They all overloaded one side, but there was no purpose in providing an option for Scott Thompson.
So Yaron to Laidler. Now Laidler had time to measure. Walker, third man up. Robinson, front and centre, threw it away in the end. Ellard down low, back towards Cruiser. Gets a little toe poke. Murphy onto it, can't quite, ball at the back. Carlton swoop. Murphy's handball to a contest. Good hip and shoulder by Simpson on Swallow. Terrific contest.
Hard to win a footy in there, wasn't it? I reckon 10 players touched the footy, but none was able to take possession with the pressure.
Boundary throw in. Goldstein props in front. Hasn't really been a factor tonight. Has had an interesting battle with Warnock. There's Swallow. Drives it around the outer side. Pedersen up very high. Couldn't hang on. Falls behind Petrie. Just brute strength there. Shrugged his opponent off. Dropped the kick in game 50. He's a big man to bring down, Petrie. And he's in a rather ornery mood.
He's happy to spend so much time up this part of the ground. And again, he hasn't been able to get that one time he had a jump at the footy in the forward 50, took the big mark.
Great mark. You'll see that a few times over the weekend. Goldstein, straight into the path of McLean though, lays it off. Armfield slips it away. Judd can't get away. Back to Armfield. Armfield to McLean. And Judd's been penalised. Swallow. He's done everything tonight. Brought the champ down right there. Play-on's the call. Harvey goes out very wide to a contest. Petrie simply too strong. Henderson there step by step. No match in the end. Kicks it down towards the pocket. Pedersen throws himself at it and takes the mark. He's impressive, this young man from the Box Hill Hawks.
Possibly just got a hand pass there, but looking at North Melbourne's efficiency going forward, 9 scoring shots from just the 18 entries, so they're really getting value for their entries.
Clean mark too. Judd coming off for a breather, trying to get involved. It's been a most unusual week. That goes without saying. Doesn't happen too often. Pedersen, meantime, misses. Not by much. Margin out to 12.
You mentioned that point about Chris Judd, Dennis. You can almost see him willing himself into it. He's had an ordinary first half by his standards, but you can almost see him trying to push himself into the game. It's almost visual.
Yeah, but spending all week going coochie-coochie-coo, and then, I mean, it's not the ideal build-up, is it?
Gee, good mark by Simpson. Rode Adams into the ground, and then Simpson's weighted kick. Armfield, Wells, tries to run him down. He's quick Armfield, got rid of a couple, gets to Cruiser, goes back in board. Speaking of quick Garlett, it's a lovely little kick to the top of the square, and there's the advantage of Thompson overhead against Betts.
It's just having that physical presence over the smaller marking, well, we see a smaller marking player there in Cade Simpson, but what Scott Thompson's been able to do time and time again tonight is just provide that physical pressure on Eddie Betts.
So Goldstein at the back. Ball hasn't quite come out from Bastanak. Still hasn't quite got control of it. Walker. And then Swallow. Thompson's little give to Bastanak. And now Ferrito in trouble. He got away with it.
Again, strength. Bastanak. Thompson just wriggles free. Now it's Rawlings. Runs outside the defensive 50, trying to catch them on the counter again. That was intended for Greenwood. Well played by the man coming back there too. He knocked it down. Hand pass comes across from Murphy. They run it down towards half forward. Yaron was involved. Now it's with McLean. Lines up. Hasn't got the carry. Off hands, falls to the back. Head down Thompson. Rolls out of there. Cruiser snaps. And that's what they needed. Something point blank.
They got out of their back 50, the Kangaroos, but the pressure that the forward third of Carlton has put on them in this last couple of minutes of play has just been magnificent. And that midfield turnover created that re-entry into their 50 in the Cruiser goal, but just their ability to pressure the Kangaroos player with the ball in that back 50 set up that goal. Cruiser got it, but that was a team pressure goal.
The build-up certainly came moments before that with some real pressure from the Carlton forwards, launching at the ball here, and even Garlett there providing some more forward pressure and inside 50 tackles. North Melbourne need to have another avenue towards goal instead of just relying on the one over the top.
They keep wanting the corridor, North Melbourne.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rawlings then, and they had it turned over. Swallow yet again. So back to a one-goal game. 26 minutes between goals for the Blues. The last 6 scoring shots have been behind. Swallow and Gibbs, Judd and Ferrito. Well done Walker, but he's caught by Ferrito. Ball up.
Thanks, guys. Straight up.
Hasn't been much between the two teams all night. No one's really got away to a big lead, have they? North have been in front for most of the night after the Blues made the running early. Goldstein just won the tap. Ferrito has to get it out now. It does. Goldstein clever because he waited till the right option came. Zeebel's kick to Richardson. He's playing in the forward half now. Murphy. Richardson gets him. And that'll be a ball up. Right in front of you, Richo.
Yeah, it's an amazing stat tonight. Carlton have had 15 tackles inside their forward 50 to North's 1. It just illustrates where this game's been played. Everything for North Melbourne is transition. You would think that can't hold up all night.
Goldstein did beautifully down to Bastanak. Campbell trying to make something of it. 40 plays, 34, approaching midway through the third term. No activation yet. Goldstein got it from Zeebel. His hand pass was knocked down. Zeebel goes in rather carelessly and takes Scotland high. And Scotland has just been terrific again tonight. We've sung his praises. Marvellous season. In fact, since going to Carlton, he's been a standout. This is McLean, who didn't make quite the same, or hasn't made quite the same transition yet. Kicks it beyond the wing. Cruiser. He has that ability to go straight up and take the ball at its highest point. Releases Simpson, kicks to space, good-looking kick. Garlett came in front. The judgment shown, though, by Rawlings. Tries to head it back and does. Gave it to McMahon, who kicks it towards the outer side. Bounce eluded Edwards. Cunnington trying to put pressure on Davies. Nothing doing. Comes short. Simpson goes low this time. Sliding at the footballer's Armfield. He's taken down. Dragged off at McMahon. Oh, Wells. Brilliant sidestep. Went looking for Swallow. Slapped down by McLean. That ball slow to release. Harper at the base of it. I think he's going to be penalised. It's going to Carlton.
Andrew Walker.
Armfield's in a bit of pain there. Looks like a lower limb.
He's had the Wells match up and done it very successfully. You could see then, couldn't you, as soon as the Harper fell over the footy, see it next. Oh, that's the ankle.
Oh, jeez.
So Armfield, you can see why he's coming off. He's been pretty good too. Brings pace to that midfield. And he's a hard nut just for the moment, feeling the worse for wear. And as we watch Walker, he's kicked a lot of goals this year, and this one is good. Scores are back to level.
Doesn't look too bad, Armfield. At least he's hobbled off, but might still be okay. That one was one. As soon as Harper went forward over the footy, if the in the back wasn't paid, then he was always going to get pinged for holding the ball once the Carlton pack virtually besieged him.
Great pressure again. Richo highlighted the tackles inside the forward 50, resulting in another goal.
So Armfield in big trouble here. North had loved Wells to get off the leash. There's Brad Scott's reaction to the holding the ball. Wells, well, there he goes. Off the leash to Greenwood. Greenwood on the left. Petrie in a one-on-one with Henderson. Campbell and Tui. Well played, Tui. Is it over the line? Not quite. Still in. Carlton have got back to level. They've been getting the early goals in each of the quarters, or the first goals at least. Davies high on Greenwood. Gee.
Time back on.
I reckon it's been a while since the Kangaroo fans have made such a noise, don't you? I mean, a big crowd in. They don't play many what you'd call centre stage matches through the year, and they've got one here tonight. Stakes are high. Friday night footy, and they're keeping up with the top 14. And Greenwood with a ordinary old kick puts them a point in front.
They did it last week. The Kangaroos tend to be playing man-to-man on the kick-ins, which is quite unusual. It'll be hard for them to stop getting the first kick clear.
Yaron does exactly that. Well, almost. Simpson tried to create his own space. Harper was favoured by the bounce. Simpson works at him, trying to wrench it off Harper. The youngster stays tough.
Mine dived on it simultaneously, guys.
I think the fact that the Kangaroos are playing man-to-man means they just want to at least have bodies near the Carlton group rather than space for them to create.
Cruiser trying to kick it forward. Brilliant hand pass by Swallow. Got it wide. Greenwood. Now Goldstein's a talented player. Kicks it down towards the kick-off line. Interesting attempt by Petrie. Even by his standards, I think, a tad unrealistic. And the free kick will go to Henderson. God, he's a nightmare to play on, though. Petrie, you'd have Fitz. Campbell. Great chase. Dygan able to send it forward, though. Ellard to Judd. Judd around the outer side, goes with the outside of the boot, follows up, tidies up his own mess, slips a hand pass away, but Murphy was put down. Greenwood, Swallow has been everywhere. Swallow, hurriedly, high ball, waiting Pedersen. He's got a good pair of hands, in fact, low down. All round, he can take a very nice mark.
It's been impressive, that's for sure. Long ball in, Scotland was the third man up. Richardson, Dygan, Yaron. Been running and bouncing all night. That's a lovely torpedo punt and gives McLean a bit of a run. Back he goes. Warnock inside. Betts within range at 50. Kicking in. Gibbs might get on the end of it. He's got a hat-trick, Gibbs. They're in front.
Really good build-up there by Carlton. The possession that Betts got was a result of Scott Thompson having to make a team decision and track the Carlton player bringing the ball inside the forward 50. Betts got on the end of it and delivered brilliantly to Bryce Gibbs.
We spoke earlier, didn't we? Sometimes defenders just have to make the decision to kick it quick rather than be precise, and I think Yaron did that. That got it over the top of the North Melbourne defence.
That's the kick there from Yaron, just to space, not being precise with it. You see Scott Thompson having to chase Warnock to put the pressure on, which alleviated Eddie Betts and a pinpoint pass to Bryce Gibbs. Gibbs has really got himself into this game after a very slow start. Just shows his overall versatility.
Equals his career high 3 goals. He did it against the Tigers in 08. He's done it again tonight with plenty of time to add to it. Scotland feigning for a free kick. Coming through is Judd. Well played. Kept over the football. Wells is there. How's that for talent? Big Shepherd came from Robinson. Created space for Judd, who went short to Digan along the line. Simpson pushed to the back. Must get a free kick. It's against Swallow. He stands at 24 possessions, Swallow.
Wasn't that a terrific shepherd by Robinson? Saw Wells, who's a playmaker for the Kangaroos. Made sure he got him good.
Great to have players who'll do that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got to be in their nature. It's his nature to do that. Off hands, Thompson. Betts didn't appear to have the football. Tries to back out of the pack. McMahon does well. Betts fights back. No one to give it to, so he stands up. Kicks towards full forward. Goldstein knocks it down. Harvey, wonderful hands. Burrito, Bastanak. Look away, hand pass. Campbell. Outside of the boot. Richardson takes the mark. Richardson looking to translate his good VFL form into AFL form. He's the backside of left centre wing. Goes down towards half forward. Petrie, brilliant gather on the half volley.
And they're on here. Harvey had a couple of options. He asked a lot of Adams here. Can the ball sit? Tuvey, well played. It wasn't a great kick by Harvey, and Adams is in trouble. Tuvey's kicked down the line. Well done by Robinson. He's had a quietish night. Yaron, piercing kick. Wells couldn't mark it. Gee, Armfield's back out there. Thompson, Wells gets it now. Wells, normally Silky. Well, there you go. He missed Swallow, and that's a poor return. Players everywhere here, and runners and trainers. Judd has had a fantastic third quarter. I guess the guy's got to earn a living now, Judd, doesn't he? He's got to earn his spot.
The family to support.
That's it. He'll notice.
I reckon he'll be okay.
Yeah, he has willed himself into the contest, though. Just kept working hard, keep getting there, keep contesting.
And this guy's been in the contest virtually from the outset, Simpson. Gee, that's a bit casual on the mark. He's a left footer, he runs around, he goes long, and he kicks a goal. Can't believe that.
I think it might have... They're checking the post.
Hang on, check that post. Dust for Prince.
Just asking if it hit the post. You didn't see it hit the post? Okay, just wait. I'll check with the central umpire. Shane, come here. Shane.
Seems to be daylight.
I've certainly hit the post, I'm pretty sure.
Did you see? It didn't look like it hit the post. Okay, it's your decision. No one else can help you. We've got to go with the lesser. If you're not confident it's a goal, we've got to go with the lesser. Okay, all right.
Right in front of the cheer squad. What a great place to make a call.
That's the plus for the video referral. When the umpires aren't certain, there may be a camera shot that gives you the answer that the umpires probably correctly eventually came up with,
I think so.
Gee, that goal umpire, well played.
Absolutely.
He's under the pump. He was under great pressure, so the Blues lead by 6 points, and the man on the mark, well, he was let off perhaps. Edwards, Gibbs doing a lot. Pedersen we do like, and then quick kick in. Now Henderson's had Petrie for pace tonight. He's run away from him a couple of times, and that wasn't to Petrie's advantage.
Been good, Henderson. Good player, Petrie, but I reckon Henderson's held him tonight in most of the contests.
You know him pretty well, Lee, wouldn't you, Henderson?
Yeah, obviously started at the Lions for a couple of years, but Carlton need him to make it as their second big defender, even when Jamison's available.
What did you recruit him as when you were
centre-half forward? He played his junior footy.
And Gibbs is good at 3. He's very close to the boundary with that kick. An easy mark at the back by Harper. He's going to be a player too, young Harper. Just chips it over the top to Harvey. And the veteran's got it on the wing. As we said, his 20th match against the Blues, 14 victories in there. It's a remarkable record, really, in recent times. Pedersen, another mark. Along the line, Petrie. Kick to his advantage. And that's almost an unfair fight, even for Henderson, who's in good form tonight.
As we saw 2 great examples of contested one-grab marks. Pedersen early. Doesn't have to be spectacular. Good body work. Couldn't get away from Henderson, as Lee's made comment of, but very strong.
Important kick, this one. Started the night with 38 goals. Still there. Slides this one across the face and still there. Out of bounds. He's kicked one, so he's moved to 39. Oops. So boundary throw in beside the post then. And Petrie doing it all. Plucks it, kicks it, just misses. And that's the beauty of him. He's such a versatile big man. If he was starting a franchise, it wouldn't be the worst to take.
Well, in the modern game this year, he'd be the best second ruckman you could ever get, wouldn't you?
Yeah, forward second ruckman.
Yeah. Cleverly done by Murphy. Just thinking Jamison tonight, I'm not sure which way this game will go, obviously, but they want to get him back as quickly as they can, don't they? I think he's 2 to 3 weeks away, Jamison. Waite may play next week, we've been told, probably the week after. So the bookends for the Blues. It'll be so vital, you think, in September. Gee, Warnock straight to Adams. Now Harvey trying to get as close as he can. Clever kick. Well done. Now this will test Edwards' accuracy. He has been a dead eye over the last 2 seasons. He's been batting at about 80% from set shots.
Bill Collins.
That's it. If anybody can, well, there you go. I wish I just held on to that thought for another moment. Just a moment.
In fairness, not the easiest shot there for Aaron Edwards. But
there's no fairness.
Righto.
The wind.
The wind just threw the crack up there. The Coventry end.
Apologies to the memory of Bill too. Kick comes outside the 50. Cruiser was up. Over the football, Zeeble slaps it out. Cruiser, Judd kept it in. Still going, Judd. Zeeble commits the body. Judd was there, almost synchronised as they dived for that one, and the ball is paddled across the line. Judd is taking a breather. Boundary throw in just inside the attacking 50. It's 42 to 47. Carlton up by 5. Petrie directs it down at the feet of Armfield. Ricochets to a North Melbourne opponent. Now a chance for Swallow. Swallow, I think it might have been a teammate that got him. He's holding his head. Zeeble came past pretty close to him. And we've got a ball up 5 metres away from Swallow, who's feeling the effects.
Oh, yeah, nasty.
Vanilla food.
Oh, really hard to lose Swallow, isn't it?
Well spotted, Dennis. So Petrie, well played. Yaron running it out. So he'll clear his head, you think, Swallow, and get back in a hurry. Wells takes his place. Probably been best man on the ground, Swallow, to date. Carlton's good players are building, though. Thornton out wide. Chases on. Davies. Edwards. Good bounce for the Kangas. Edwards held up. Terrific tackle, Henderson. Back to Davies. Simpson's been very high on Carlton's best players, if not their best. Lovely handball. Gee, Davies followed that up well. The bounce eluded him. Just got it in time. Gets to Scotland. Caresses back to Simpson. Simpson wants to move it. Looking for options. Carlton lead by 5 points late in the third quarter.
So steady, Scotland, when he gets the footy. Intended that kick from Simpson for Walker. With his fingertips and out of bounds, will have a throw in. I think from memory, Heath Scotland made his debut against the West Coast Eagles and played on John Worsfold. So I guess these sort of high-pressure games don't intimidate him. Just imagine that for a start. And Woosha had been around a while. Cruiser jabs it forward. Murphy coming to light as well. Goes for goal. Misses. Behind. Bruce makes a very good point. Murphy and Judd are starting to feel it. Wells drives it out of defence. What a beautiful kick for Rito Marks at left half back.
So North outplayed in this quarter. Carlton with all the goals. In fact, Josh just tells us Carlton's third quarters over the last 10 weeks, 51 goals to 20. Yeah. So they've outscored the opposition 5 goals to 2 over the last 10 weeks. That includes their 3 to zip tonight. Harvey, well done. He's been good on hands tonight, Harvey, and then takes Judd on and looks up now. That's a lovely looking kick to McMahon. They've done this a bit tonight. Can he get it forward? He's got Adams short. He had Adams for eternity. Well, he want to do something good here, McMahon. He does. Swallow. Well, he's just been knocked out again.
Oh, poor kid. He'll get a 5-metre penalty and make it a point-blank shot.
He just came back through the interchange, Coach Bruce, and he sprinted down. That was a good kick to find him.
It had to be, Bruce, you're right, because Adams was vacant.
And Swallow, well, Lazarus, 25th disposal, puts the Kangaroos dead set level.
I guess we give McMahon the benefit of the doubt. I'm not sure where the Swallow found the football as opposed to the football found him. I got a feeling McMahon was just having to go at the goals, but Swallow got on the end of it. Good contest.
The immediate fitness test for Andrew Swallow, and he passed with flying colours. Warnock missed the football, goes after it again. Zeeble puts the body in. Greenwood on his knees, slips it out. Goldstein towards half forward. Well done by Yaron. Comes out hard across to Tui. In two minds, Tui. Short. Robinson plays on immediately. Down towards half forward. I don't think it was paid as a mark anyway, not 15. Thompson. Zeeble down to 30 seconds. Ferrito sends a long ball inside the forward 50. Laidler got fingertips to it. Tui gets pushed in the back. Swallow just falling into his back. Tui to Yaron. We're down to 15 seconds now. Now Scotland will take the pressure out of this in the panic. Demand something of a teammate. Wow. Such is the magic of Scotland that Zeeble thought it must have been going to a Carlton player. So he punched it out of bounds. What was he thinking?
No match this season has been all square at three-quarter time. So we haven't had scores tied at three-quarter time this year until now. Well, Carlton made the run in and North Melbourne got a very important late goal, didn't they?
Yes, they had trouble getting on the scoreboard that quarter, but that late goal has evened it up. That's a real contest, really good contest.
Thought it might be Lee coming in and it's delivering, so three-quarter time, it's 48 apiece. Can't split them. Judd and Swallow, two of the keys to the final turn on Friday night footy.
Just part of it. Friday night football keeps on delivering. A three-quarter time after North Melbourne led by 11 points at half-time. Scores are level. And taking a look at the possession winners on the ground, one name that doesn't appear, only 15 to three-quarter time, is Bryce Gibbs, but his influence around goal has been pronounced.
Yeah, correct. As you say, I mean, it's not his biggest game stat-wise, but to kick 3 goals out of 6, that makes him highly influential.
Okay, now I'm not taking the mickey here, Nick, but if you're a betting man, who would you be on from here?
I think you've got to probably go with the team that has the more quality, and I think that's Carlton. Ran the ball. I don't want to underestimate guys like Swallow who have been so good, particularly tonight, but when you're talking about Gibbs, Judd, Murphy, Scotland, these guys are real A-graders, not expecting to maybe kick away.
And Gibbs, most of his goals have been that way, haven't they? Getting in behind the defence.
I think a lot of them have. That's what happens when both teams actually bottle up the game, and it ends up getting over the top each time.
And people think that might be sneaky, but that's hard running. Let's go down to Richo.
Well, Rats, it's been a different sort of a game. How are you going to win it?
I think we just need to clean up around the stoppages. I thought the first quarter and the third quarter they really dominated us and really got the ball going their way. So I think if we can just win that battle, it'll allow us to get on top of them.
Now, you brought Ryan Houlihan on at the break. Where are you going to play him?
He'll play forward, and it's his 200th game, so hopefully we can get a win for him. Been a great player for our club, so hopefully he gets a goal or two.
Good luck, Rats.
Thanks, mate.
Good stuff, Richo. So it's been an arm wrestle for most of the night. That scoreline tells you just how difficult it has been to get a goal.
Yeah, it certainly has. It's been very tight in the clinches. North Melbourne have been outstanding contested possession. That's an area of the game that Carlton have dominated all year, ranked 2 in the competition in differential. So North have matched them there. They've been well on top in the clearances, but just need to be more effective when they go forward.
Start of the final term. All square. Carlton trying to stay in the top 4. North trying to get into the 8. It's been 60 weeks since North Melbourne's actually been in the 8. They will be tonight. Round 2, 2009, you've got to go back to. So not under Brad Scott, even though they had a pretty good year last year. So massive stakes here.
North Melbourne.
Who can run the game out best? So Goldstein having a wonderful season. Hansen gets it from Thompson and just blazes. Diagon with so much courage.
That's as good a mark as all the other pack marks. That's outstanding.
Well, he just kept his eye on the ball. Petrie came in hard. Play on call. Thompson got on the second go. Been able to break the tackle a lot tonight, North, haven't they? So Urquhart's been released, so he's on as well as Houlihan. Off a step forward. Edwards versus Davies. Good pick up by Henderson, but then he's robbed. Adams almost took it off him. Zeeble, Swallow, back to Campbell. Cleverly done. Is that Petrie? And it's going to be a bouncing ball. And scores are still level.
He was a little bit under pressure on his right side, Petrie, but the banana kick off the outside of your right foot from that angle was really hopeful.
So North press early. Warnock lays it down. Robinson and Scotland. Scotland very good. Yaron has just had so many running bounces. He must be up to past 20 now. It's like it's been preconditioned for tonight to go out there and just take them on. Murphy, lovely kick to Cruiser. So 1-1, out wide, finding Diagon, who just took the most magnificent mark, courageously out wide.
Laidler with a run of it. Looks down towards half forward. They stay off him, gave him time, and he uses it well. Walker's taken the mark 40 metres out. They all ran away from the man out there with the football. That's pretty good. Especially when you know what's coming. It's a steam train.
He went out there tonight, Diagon, knowing that many times he was going to have to be third man in that contest with Petrie and Henderson.
So Walker going at his second. Steps inside the 50. This to break the deadlock. And he does it. Puts it through the margin, is now 6 points.
Really was a terrific build-up there by Carlton. It started obviously with the courageous mark from Diagon, but the build-up went further down, and Yaron was the player, came out with 3 or 4 running bounces again and linked up. Diagon got involved, didn't blaze away to the loose players down in North Melbourne's back line, switched the play up, I think it was to Laidler, and then they could tack on the fat side of the ground. It was a fantastic build-up and a great mark and finish by Andrew Walker.
What a season. He's having 46 goals now, Walker. He's not all that far behind Buddy and Jack Revolt. That's been a fantastic return. So the Blues have kicked 4 of the 5 goals since half-time. Gibbs with a couple, Cruiser and Walker. So all those high draft picks.
It's a good balance with Walker playing. He's playing a traditional full-forward role, a la Brendan Favola from a couple of years ago, but he's got a few more strings to his bow.
Kangaroos have dropped Daniel Wells back as a spare man in their back fixture. I think they know they've got to get some run and release out of Wells just to get some penetration in their play.
So McLean unable to break through. McLean just 3 games this season, all on a Friday night. We've seen all of them. Richo, down to you, Matthew.
Yeah, Yaron's been sitting off the back of these stoppages free. You can't win if you let Chris Yaron sit behind like that. He nearly got the ball then. They've got to man him up.
Well, Scotland blindsided. The man coming in was Pedersen. Took him to ground, not before he released it though. Just in the nick of time. Tui, Thornton, Warnock, Laidler. He's been handy tonight. Goes out wide, working his way in front. Richardson, if you intended that, that was smart. Back-heeled it down to Swallow, who kicks it directly to Davies.
Given the Kangaroos generate that spare man back, they just can't blaze it forward because automatically there's going to be now a spare Carlton player in that back 50.
Crucial time in this game now. Henderson stretching for it. Laidler drifts wide of the mark, told to play on, set Simpson a task up in front, couldn't hang on, goes after it. Cunnington put the body in, spills across towards a teammate in Dygan. Dygan bounces it down a half forward. McMahon spirals it back towards the wing. Laidler again. He's having a purple patch. Gives it across towards Robinson. Shakes free. Searching kick. Gullett got a hand to it. McMahon. Ferrito. Arches the back. Sends it forward. Greenwood. The stakes are high and they're responding. Players of both sides. Greenwood to Swallow. Gibbs is coming. Swallow to half forward. Harper takes the mark at full stretch.
Thank you.
So young Harper plays on quickly. Beautiful kick onto the chest of Petrie.
It's really clever play there by Drew Petrie. He knew he had the space there as he was coming down the fat side of the ground. Didn't sprint into it to draw attention to himself. Just got there at the right time when the ball was going to arrive.
Kieran Harper, the man that kicked it to him. There he is. Just turned 19. 2 goals last week from Lilydale via the Eastern under-18s. They taught him well if that kick's anything to go by. What about this one? Even more important. Now he's missing to the left as Petrie goes for his second. So the margin. Well, we got 5 points it should be.
That's it, Dennis. So Petrie's missed a couple. Took a magnificent mark and kicked the goal. Judd, well done. Protected the footy. Quickly gets a kick forward. There's Harper again. Goldstein. Cunnington went back into trouble, did the almost a full 360. Okay, Richardson, and again not a great kick. They've done it a lot tonight, North. Murphy cuts it off. Just feel like the next goal is just massive here. If Carlton can get some breathing space, it might all open up for them. Dygan. Well, Gibbs was running hard. Edwards needs to hold the footy up. Clever by Ferrito. Swallow's been magnificent. Drives it to Petrie. It's a free kick. He'll kick a goal anyway. He does. They're back in front.
Good contest. Henderson caught out there. Don't know about you, Lee, but in that situation with a bouncing ball, I'd probably pick the ball up and go for the soccer. Anything could happen.
But that's where you want that wrestling under the ball contest towards the front of the goal square. So often Petrie has been upfield, he's been on the lead, he's been shooting from wide angles, but if you can get that one-on-one at the front of the goal square, gee, it makes it hard for a defender against a big body like Petrie.
That's the pressure you need. That's created the turnover from the North Melbourne player, Edwards it was. And the long ball in. Petrie's set up by the kick here. Not much Henderson can do running with the ball. And goes for the soccer. Risky stuff, but great goal.
North Melbourne 8 goals tonight, 4 of them out of the goal square. Bastanak to half forward. Good mark in front, Dygan. Amazing to think, just going around in the SANFL last season, suddenly he's a star. McLean having a good game too, McLean. Done some hard yakka. Yaron. Now a real chance for Tui. It opens up, gets the hand pass inside the forward 50. Betts spots a man out wide. Here's a real opportunity for number 4, career high. He's missed it. Well, talking with Nick at 3/4 time about his ability, Gibbs, to get in behind the defence. He did it again.
Too much time. He actually thought about it, set himself up, slowed down, took the short steps, but almost forced himself into error.
So Ferrito to himself, and then long ball out. Goldstein and Cruiser, well done by Murphy to shark it. Back to full forward. Big fly came from the back by Thompson. Belts it back. Murphy getting really busy now. Gets away from Harper. Little kick inside to Judd. This will test the champ, won't it? Because he's on the run, you'd say he'd go the journey, but he's probably had a tiring week. But he is such a man for the moment that he might will this through. Let's see if he can ram it home. He's kicked it beautifully. He's done it. When you want something special, he's the man.
Yes, I must say, Bruce, from experience, if he had a tiring week this week, he can look more forward to some really tiring weeks over the next month or two.
He's lifted in the second half, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's willed himself into the contest, and you know that he doesn't need to get a lot of possessions to be a really valuable player. And his second half, he's just forced himself into the contest.
Not a noted set shot, but it's a milestone of sorts. Bruce, first goal as a father.
Yeah, and 2 goals, 6 from set shots before today, so Oscar straightened him up.
After the bounce, Murphy emerges with it to Cruiser. Judd cruising alongside. Cruiser sends it long into the forward line. Bounces close to the boundary. Richardson gets it from Ferrito. Across it comes to McMahon. McMahon kicks outside the defensive 50. Battle of strength. Won there by Robinson. Again, that kick goes looking for Judd. Well, I'm not sure it was actually, but it went in his direction. He was unable to get a hand to it to stop it. He tried desperately. Now Henderson back inside the forward 50, off hands and out of bounds.
Great leg speed there by Henderson. He's troubled Petrie, I think, on a number of occasions leading to the ball.
Well, Petrie's big, but leg speed for a key position player obviously isn't his strength.
Gee, didn't Walker attract a crowd there? 3 Kangaroos at him hard. Zeeble, Judd, Betts kicking forward, and a goal. Thornton's kicked it, and the Blues get some breathing space.
That was a big win by Henderson up on the wing. Petrie has been forced up onto that wing a lot to actually just give the release marking target for the Kangaroos' defence, but he just ran off him, out-sprinted him, Henderson. That was a really good setup. See, the stats show that in the last quarters, Carlton is plus 17 versus opponents, Kangaroos are -3. The good teams seem to be able to play the games out more strongly. It's been a 2011 trend.
Carlton's biggest lead of the night. It equals North Melbourne's biggest lead of the night. Chris Judd not happy. That's a rare show of emotion from him. That's as annoyed as he will get, at least visibly, as the kick from Goldstein goes down towards half forward with courage. Simpson went back and paid a price, slow to get up. Meantime, Swallow with Scotland, 2 of the stars of the night, battling, and it's Scotland who gets a free kick against Swallow for holding the ball.
Just relax, just relax.
Scotland's got the footy. The side have got the lead. Margin 12 points. Simpson, terrific. Scotland drives it towards the outer side. Hangs a long time in the air. Thornton a fist. Judd in front. Tackled by Zeeble. And the ball rolls out of bounds. Just get the feeling if Carlton can get the next. North so much to play for. They will be in the 8 if they win this, at least, as we said, in the short term. That will change later in the weekend. Wonderful by Murphy. McLean, not the quickest man. He rumbles after it, kicks inside the forward 50, but he's been effective. Close to the boundary line. McMahon did well. Hooked it down to Hansen. Taken by Harvey. Confronted Swallow. Straight to Murphy. This may be that goal. Garland under pressure. He kicks it. Oh, give him half a chance. And that's the first half chance he's had tonight.
Starting to roll now, the Blues. The Kangaroos have been brave, and the real indicators, you reckon, Brad Scott would be keen to look at, which is the contested possession and the clearances and the tackles. They've been there at the contest, probably haven't, well, they certainly haven't had the right polish on some of their disposals. And Lee, you mentioned that Carlton have been finishing their games off exceptionally well.
When Carlton have matched them in that hard contested footy, then their sort of outside skill is tending to be a telling factor.
Well, Carlton in this last quarter, they're just winning the key contests, and Garlett there with a great goal around the body. But all night they were down in clearances and contested possessions. Come this last quarter, they're winning both areas. So vital.
7 goals to 2 since half-time. Swallow couldn't quite get it out. Robinson now back to Bastanak. They've got to make everyone count. And Henderson again with some leg speed. Scotland's been brilliant. Garlett down the line. Good mark. It's become an imposing figure, Robinson, has he? I mean, I feel like he's grown an inch or two. He's got even stronger than when he started. He's a big utility now. Big fly forward. Hansen went early. Laidler to Betts. Inside with Thornton will kick us. No, he doesn't. He does the right thing cleverly. And Gibbs is going to get that career high 4, you would think.
He's the pop-up sprinkler tonight, Bryce Gibbs. He just comes out of nowhere in the forward 50, but making obviously very good decisions.
Yeah, good play then by Thornton. It looked like he probably could have had a shot at the goal anyway, but when you can send a set shot out, 15 metres out, 45-degree angle, always the best play.
He's an expensive pop-up sprinkler, this one, isn't he? Can he kick a fourth? He does, and Carlton have kicked away.
As we see Brad Scott, he's thinking, can I do anything to turn the way the game has gone in this early part of the 4th quarter? What can I do? Where can I position players? But really, I think Carlton's overall skill and speed is now getting on top.
I feel like late in September, Gibbs might go forward under pressure.
Yeah, he's just another option in that part of the ground.
11-13, 8-7. A couple of great players for Carlton in their very best of days. Overseen by that gentleman in the middle. Wells comes away. Cunnington went to ground. Burkett runs into trouble, slips a hand pass away. Wells had it momentarily. He's had a quiet night. Urquhart tries to assist. Nothing doing and a ball up.
Just look like they're running all over them at the moment, Carlton. In fact, North Melbourne have played 16 games straight since their last bye. They're coming off 2 6-day breaks, and it's certainly panning out that way at the moment.
Bastanak had the ball bounce past him. Swallow trying to lift his side back into this one. He's hurt again, Swallow. Slow to get up. The action just 5 metres away from him. We'll have another bounce.
He's one of those 1%ers, isn't it? How long you go between buys. Everyone has 2 buys, but where they're positioned in the season does make it a little bit more advantageous from some.
Well, you've got to go back to round 3 for the Kangas. So, as Tom said, 16 consecutive matches, and they are having trouble tonight at least against quality opposition in finishing it off, and Carlton are doing all the finishing at the moment. Really important for North here that they fight this out. They've had trouble against the good teams. Kick forward, Walker did well. Thornton, who's kicked a couple of goals in the last quarter. They've had the bogey teams have been the top teams, haven't they, for North Melbourne?
Been able to get over the top of that top 4-5.
They've got Hawthorn next week, then a bye. They've still got to play Fremantle and St Kilda. They've got a tough draw. Richmond's their other game as well. So I feel like they've got to win one against the odds this year to make the finals. Wells, Ellard, Walker off the ground. Murphy brilliantly. Not quite. Then Ferrito, Swallow, over 30 disposals again tonight. Kicks to a 1-on-1. Free kick shorty to Pedersen. Not paid. Duigan's had a magnificent last quarter. Arches his back and runs away.
He might have just gone across the line.
He's been a good pick-up, hasn't he? He's just strengthened up that Carlton defence. Laidlaw's been very good as well. So they're 2 new players to the club that have become permanent fixtures.
Hasn't Oscar had some publicity? So much about the Judds this week, Mr. and Mrs. And for a while there tonight, the story looked very likely to be Carlton's misses. But I think things are back on an even keel. Suddenly it's 24 points the margin. And they've been straightened up in this final term. A very sharp 5-1 as Laidler gets on the end of the Judd kick.
It's been really handy Laidler and Dygan, obviously, the one they haven't been able to. This is North Melbourne, haven't been able to counteract that loose man that Carlton have been able to orchestrate, slipping forward on this occasion.
Well, Laidler's in the forward line and Gibbs is back there in defence. I don't know whether they've swapped positions or it was just in transition to play.
No easy kick, this one. And he misses, so their second blemish of the term, but they're on the right side of the ledger. And they lead by 25 points, adding 5-2 in a real rush. They've come strong, like a premiership contender is expected to do. And North just haven't been able to hang on, at least not yet. They need something special. Thompson kicks it to Tui. It's out of bounds.
Look at Brett Ratton. He's got to be thrilled with his defence. I mean, Jamison we know is going to come back. It's been a bit of an Achilles heel.
A solid defence tonight without their best big defender out injured.
So we feel like there's some improvement in Carlton still before the end of the year with Waite and Jamison at least, and maybe one or two others. Cruiser toe poking. Judd's had a magnificent second half. Cruiser again. Laidler. And then belted away by Harper. Judd again in close quarters. Campbell clever. Can he get the ball back? Can't quite. Now they go. Whirls his hands to Harper. And then Harper decides to go with a long ball. It's not a good kick. It's a poor kick, actually. And Thornton has been very handy.
They had the runners. They had the three Kangaroos players near the ball carrier, but they chose to kick.
Tuvi's kick to Gibbs. Set up a bit. Is that a mark? It is. McMahon. So I'm not sure if there's any roll of the dice left. Dennis, I think it might have been put away, but we'll see.
Yes, well, if there is a roll of the dice left, it will be the last roll of the dice. Pedersen throws it on the boot. Dunaward's full forward. Goldstein held the man up with a hand pass. Cunnington snaps. It's floating towards goal. It's a goal. Something out of nothing. Back in the team tonight and back in the good books with that one.
Yes, and look, it's a bit of makeshift goals coming from the Kangaroos. That was a good just ground level stoppage situation or a scrimmage situation that Cunnington got the goal from. But just at the moment, they run through the middle. They're sort of running and kicking the ball into their forward 50 when the space is around the ball carrier so often.
Very nice goal here from Cunnington, but if you have a look at this last quarter, one of the reasons Carlton's got on top is their loose man's just far more influential. Dygan and Scotland in particular have been very good in that role.
Etihad brought down after McLean had won it. Greenwood, handball inside, Zeeble to Campbell. In pretty good hands, you'd think. He normally runs hard, kicks to the pocket. Oh, good mark. Hanson's drifted forward. Well, we've gone to the cupboard.
Yes, I think that Hanson's played defence for most of the night, but yep, that's the roll of the dice you're talking about from Brad Scott. When we saw him in the coach's box 5-10 minutes ago, what can we do that might change the flow? Well, send him back to the forward line.
Well, he bats pretty well from set shots. This to keep the Kangaroos in the match, and he's missed it. You're not going to get many better chances than that. 3-goal game, lots more shots, Carlton. North still with enough time if they can get a goal in the next minute and a half.
Just see the zone there, North going obviously man on man, so Carlton implementing the huddle to try and get a block on and create a free man.
Yeah, and this one goes wide to Simpson, who's going to get a free kick. And that's the danger. I mean, you're always counter-punching in that situation, aren't you? You're just really having to defend. Simpson was running really hard there, so the ball was kicked to his advantage, and this, if he doesn't mark it, can happen as well. He gets a free kick. Scotland goes back. Thornton. Dygan. Every second vital for North. Judd again. Good of him. He's been in red-hot form. His best game tonight. He struggled against North Melbourne over his career, really. Ball towards the wing. Thompson missed it. Slapped forward by Walker. And guess who? Working behind the pack. Gibbs goes looking for Betts. Oh, brilliant in front there by Cunnington, who got the last goal. Sends it towards Swallow. It's 2-on-1 on the outer side. They need to make something of this. Campbell drives it down towards half forward with a spiral. Edwards! Good mark. He's about 55 metres out. Down towards the square. Pedersen. He's not your worst hope, Pedersen. He can take a mark, but he's drifting deep into the pocket. Edwards a little undecided. Harvey says, I'm tall. Cook it to me. There's the short one, actually. I don't know who that favoured. Pedersen didn't get to the contest. Well, he did, but he had the punch. And Judd goes short. Simpson takes the mark.
She had a lot of players on the opposite forward flank clear Edwards, but he didn't go quick enough to find him.
Almost took the mark. Murphy brought down. Bets up the ground. And then eludes the tackle. That's a big win. Gibbs, who's got behind the ball so often tonight, and then caresses it to Walker, and you feel like Carlton
one out.
Now are seemingly safe. The kick to centre half forward. Rawlings did well. He made body contact. Thompson off the ground. Harvey's in a good spot for him. He'll love this now. He should put him, take Warnock on. Doesn't. Adams running hard. Delivers. Everything has to be clean. No free kick. Well played, the Blues in the end. Scotland's been terrific. Thornton got it back to him. Back to Richardson. Harvey asked a lot of. Gets around. Can he deliver? He does. So North still coming. Bastanak a long way from home. Short. And well done by Scotland.
Hasn't he played a game, Scotland? Short to Robinson. And by the Matthews theory, they haven't got time now. They need 3 goals. Just over 2 minutes to go. Judd again with the ball in midfield. Walker with the juggled mark. So they've weathered the storm, and North Melbourne, I'm sure, will be very angry with themselves. 15 minutes of football in this term is going to cost them dearly as the ball goes deep into attack. Over the football, Gibbs again. Swallow flicks it out. Cunnington. So Swallow up to 33. In a losing cause. Campbell runs the outer wing. Nothing much on. Tired players up ahead. Puts it over the head of Hansen. Should have got a free kick. Hansen recovers. He's got plenty of company. Well done, Lockie Hansen. He got boot to ball. He was outnumbered 3-1. And in the same instant, he killed the clock.
Feel at the moment like, and I reckon the Kangaroos have played up to this tonight. They're probably as good as any team but the top 5 at the moment.
That's about, I think they've played to their level, not so much in their forward third, but their stoppage, clearance work, that's been good.
They're going as well as Sydney and Fremantle, aren't they, right now?
Yes.
But they're out of the 8, and there's going to be half of them to get in. They have won 2 of their first 9. It gave them a big task, and they have put themselves back in. But for Carlton, they've got to keep winning with West Coast sitting on their shoulder. So the Blues will get an important win tonight. It's been a terrific game. Wells, a high ball back into the centre. Scotland, as good as anyone on the ground. Simpson and Gibbs, well, 3 of their best, haven't they been? Gibbs clever to Cruiser, to Judd. Arches his back, the champ, to Dygan. Well, this would be fitting if he can kick a goal. He won't get the distance.
Cunnington. Pedersen. But it's over. Inside the last minute. Now 50 against Dygan, but
over the mark, mate.
doesn't matter too much.
I reckon, Dennis, his mark in the last quarter was just unbelievably important at the time.
Uplifting, wasn't it?
Resulted in the goal.
Just progressing over the mark, Nick. You've got to hold up, mate.
So Pedersen, 50 seconds on the clock. And North will fall short. Sends it down towards the attacking 50. That was a terrible kick, and the mark is taken by Robinson. That forward line now seems to be plumb out of ideas. Hasn't always been that way in the last quarter. There was life there a few minutes ago. Cunnington enjoying a good 10 minutes or so. Punched it down in front. Walker gives it across towards Laidler, and Laidler finds the boundary. That was a very clever kick, if intended. Not sure you can put that sort of... What?
That was a clever kick.
That was like that Montaigne one early in the year. I don't know, when you're going 50 metres and it's sort of virtually in your forward line.
Well, I doubt it was intended because we're right behind it. I said if it was intended because it sort of bounced at right angles. How you can sort of factor that in?
Well, I actually think he kicked to space in the hope that we actually stop and sit in the grass. So he intended to keep the ball in play.
Siren. Carlton win. Carlton 11-14, North Melbourne 9-8 on Friday football.
Who has the captain of Carlton, Chris Judd.
Juddy, it was a funny old game. They made you work pretty hard for that one tonight.
Yeah, they did. We really respect the Kangaroos. They're well coached and they play good hard footy, so we're happy to get the win.
Now on to the real questions, mate. You've done it all, premierships, Brownlows. How much better was it this week with young Oscar being born?
Yeah, it doesn't compare. It was just, as close as you get to magic. So it was. It's been a great week.
Any sleep at all?
Got some good sleep last night, so I've had a lot more sleep than the missus.
Now, you're going to be a new age dad. You're going to get into the nappies or not?
Yeah, I'm going to be in the trenches. So, look, Beck's been amazing so far, so it's probably time I help out a bit more.
And Dan was a bit flat. He thought Dennis Judd sounded a little bit better.
Yeah, he said he's got a few tips for me, so I look forward to getting fatherhood from committee.
Thanks for that, mate.
Thanks for chat. Cheers.
What have you got to say for yourself?
Well, I did say that I would help, but now I think more about it. I've got nothing to help him with. I was an old age dad.
He does everything so well. I think he'll be the lead father as well, don't you?
Absolutely, no doubt. It was amazing to see that Carlton supporters already forecast Juddy needs 18 games to be father-son, but they're looking forward to it.
Gee, Swallow, just saw him near Richard. I mean, he lost nothing tonight, Swallow did he? So we go down to Matthew Richardson again.
Bryce, you got swung up forward, mate, ended up with 4 goals. What was the message to you at quarter time?
Yeah, something a bit different for me. Spent a bit of time sort of midfield and back over my career, and it's nice to get up forward and hit the scoreboard.
Pretty important win, mate. You've got to win them all going in. There's a tight battle for that top 4. Pretty important tonight.
Yeah, the pressure's always on us to keep winning, and to the boys' credit, we had a lot to play for today, keeping that top 4, and for Ryan Houlihan's 200, what a good way to go out for him.
Definitely, and Nick Duigan and Heath Scotland across half-back, they've been outstanding, and particularly in that last quarter, Duigan's mark out here must inspire the team.
Yeah, it really does. It was a team focus to sort of get back and get in front of Petrie. He's been in great form this year, and Duigs and Scotto, their aerial work was just super, so it was good.
Well, we like you up forward, mate, and a little bag of 5, you could have kicked it, you just missed that one on the run.
That's all right, no, it was a good win, so hopefully Rats can keep me up there in the future.
Well done.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
It was a big move, wasn't it? Bryce Gibbs with his 4 goals. West Coast don't have a bye and Carlton do. That's why it's so important that the Blues keep winning. Hawthorn obviously in that battle again. Collingwood and Geelong with some breathing space. So, great game. North Melbourne led by 10 points and 11 points in the first 2 changes. Carlton steaming home. It takes a good team to beat North Melbourne, and Carlton is that. They're a good team. In the end on Friday Night Footy, it was the Blues celebrating 80-62.
Team of Carlton knows we're all the champions. They like to send us, we'll keep our ends up, and never know that they've been playing against the famous old dark blue.
This has been a Fox Sports